Well, the surf is up on a Monday afternoon in Erina, Australia. This is the site of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. Well, we've got every Australian stereotype possible. We've got the kangaroos, but no kangaroos inside the Erina Ice World Arena. Men's competition action for you this afternoon, men's session 7 in fact, and it's China versus Korea. Hans Frauma, and I'm joined this afternoon by Sander Rolvag. Good afternoon to you, Sander.
Good afternoon, Hans.
Heading towards the business end of the competition, jockeying for position for the playoffs. Japan has already qualified. They're at 6-0. Australia also unbeaten. Korea at 4-1. China at 3-2. New Zealand also on 3 wins. 4 teams will make the playoff round. Chinese Taipei is on 2-4. Qatar picking up their historic first ever international victory yesterday, and Hong Kong and Kazakhstan looking for their first wins of the competition. Let's meet Team China. At lead today is Xiao Derde. Xu Jinghao is at second, Zhou Xia is at third, and Zhou Dejia is the skip. Alternate is Ma Yalong, and their coach is Marcel Rock.
And for Team Korea, a bit of a lineup change. They tend to rotate a little bit. So lead today is Min Chang Kim. At second is Un So Oh. At third, Se Han Sang, and the team is skipped again by Chang Min Kim. On the bench today is Ki Bok Lee, and the coach is Myung Sup Lim.
So now we move ice side. This should be a really interesting one, Sander. A couple of young teams with potential and fighting for playoff positions.
Yeah, it's 2 teams that haven't been featured at the Pacifics too often in recent years, so a bit of inexperience showing, perhaps, but should be a great battle.
China will play the red stones. Korea will play the yellow stones. See the hammer symbol in the background. Korea has earned last rock advantage in the first, so getting us underway will be China. And their lead, Xiao Derde.
7-6
小老魏小老魏有点下线了
6区5区
2进营为主
So there's pretty much 2 options
6区提线
for the first rock of a game. It's either
提线大一点
put it top 4,
OK
just like that, or throw the guard. This would be more of the defensive approach to the end. It will allow Korea to make a hit on the red stone and have a fairly open first end.
Min Chan Kim, Korean lead. Makes the hit, sticks around.
Yeah, he was on the bench for our previous game with Korea. So I'm not sure if they're just trying to keep everyone warm leading up to the Olympics, or if they're still trying to figure out what the lineup's going to be for Pyeongchang.
That's right. This Korean team has been confirmed as the Korean Olympic representative for Pyeongchang. You'll be watching this team in under 100 days now in the Olympic curling competition.
얘들 중국 애들 몇 번 던졌었어.
Min Chan Kim.
맨날 웨이트 몇이야? 2명 가도 돼. 타이타이 가야 된다. 타이타이 가야 돼. 야, 좀만 더. 좀만 더. 좀만 더. 좀만 더.
Corner guard.
Yeah, so there's no stones in the house, so throwing a guard here, no big risk in that. I just hope to get a simple mistake from China, and they might be able to set up for a multiple score.
Green. Yep.
Whoa.
Su Jinghao,
Green.
Chinese second player.
Just barely papers that one out. Yeah, so China, they don't want to come around that corner guard. You want to try and keep things along the center line when you don't have the last stone.
Un Soo Ho, the
아이 완벽해.
playing at second position today.
Yes, and him and the Korean team, they will be looking to bring the play out to the wing.
And one thing we'll notice as this game progresses, both teams are really strong sweepers. Rules of play for today: 6 ends minimum, but 10 ends are scheduled. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to play all of their shots, and each team has 1 60-second timeout.
Yes.
야.
Clean.
고.
Clean. Okay.
Yeah, so playing the corner guard is a way of maximizing your scoring area, keeps the center open, lots of space to work with. That's what Korea is trying to do. But if China keeps making their peels, we'll probably just see this first end be blanked. Korea will then try to have no score in the first end and retain the hammer or last on advantage for the next end, and maybe try and generate some more offense then.
Good. 샷. 그렇지.
Another corner guard there for Team Korea. Once again, so did Joe. Looking to remove the corner guard, setting the target for his third. Now we meet Zhou Chia.
Whoa.
So it's a very textbook conservative first end so far.
타이트한 게 좋아.
And perhaps the Chinese team were scouting the Japan-Korea game last night where there were so many rocks in play.
클린의 뉴 패스야 이거 완전.
Playing quite conservatively.
타이트하게 가야 된다 은수야.
Seong Se-hyun.
좋은 것 같아요. 셋. 너무 빠진다.
너 우수야. 우수야 일부러 올린 거야. 첫 세지. 일부러 올린
One
거야.
set quite wide.
좋았어요.
형, 이 구간 완전 처음이다. 아무도 안
그만해. 자, 끝.
8-4.
오케이. 괜찮이야.
Yeah, we'll still peel it here though. A bit interesting that they're peeling it on the center line side here, on the in turn. Just means that the shooter will have to roll quite a bit to roll out of play. By peeling it the other way, you know, you only have to roll about a foot to touch the bumper. But I guess it's just a preferred way of throwing for the Chinese.
넣을 거지? 방금
Most
느낌.
important thing is that you make the shot.
Make the shot. Zhou Chia did. And now is Se-hyun Sung.
라인.
오케이.
Korean third.
완전 바뀌네.
올렸어.
여섯.
Yes, and this time they will just come into the house.
좋아.
By throwing another guard here, they're afraid that China might try and
넷.
switch up the play and come around the guard, leaving the Koreans very little time to
자,
generate a big score. So just a little bit safer here.
Nice draw weight there in the first end for Se-hyun.
이쪽 구간 아닌데.
Wide in the circle in the 12-foot ring. Blue ring is 12 feet. White ring is 8 feet. Red ring is 4 feet. If the stone is touching any of those rings, it's potentially eligible to score.
8명.
Chinese skip. So did Jiao.
Whoa.
Just rolls off the rings. Was hoping to maybe stick around, but comes off, and now we see that Changmin Kim is thinking, That's really wide, but we might even be able to hide behind it.
打定。
Yeah, I don't think there's any risk in trying here. There,
창민이 LSD 첫샷 몇 나왔어?
you'd have to be really good or really unfortunate to punch that redstone into the house. So give it a go. Might be able to come half buried around that. There's enough curl in the ice, that's for sure.
8반이 제일 좋은 것 같아, 내한테는.
예.
8반 9. 이 정도 좋을 것 같아.
예.
Changmin Kim.
나이 좋아! 나이 넷! 나이 완벽해! 했으면 가도 돼. 팀만.
조금 약하다.
가라. 가야 돼. 은시야 라인 치자 타이트해 가야 돼. 나이 좋아! 가야 돼 라인! 계속 와! 홀 은시야! 홀! 홀! 파이트 할. 끝.
Well, that is using every bit of the rings that you can, and great rushing by the Korean front end. Just getting it on the rings.
이게 9야.
Doesn't find any cover, but
조금 약하다.
yeah, good sweeping there. If you leave that short, it's just a stone for China to come around. So it's really important to get it far enough.
파이트 할. 끝.
Perfect.
丽娜稍微小点啊，没稍大。
So did Jia. Has to go really wide now in the circles.
Wouldn't mind sticking around here if you can, and you will. Good shot there.
Nice,
튀고 던질게 여기서.
nice execution by both teams in this first end.
这个丽娜没有上马大。
Not many rocks in play, but good shooting.
上把那飘出去了，你看这个就稍微收一点劲儿，正一直在掉线上擦，完后期一放，完了就打摔。
조금 타이트하게 잡았어. 좀 세야 돼, 내 거는.
So we're anticipating an attempt at a blank end here. Changmin Kim will try to hit that stone and roll off the rings himself. It is the last rock of end number 1.
Yep, line. Yes! Good sweeping, good.
Words of encouragement for his teammates. Good sweeping indeed. Korea executes the blank. They'll carry the last rock into end number 2. After one end of play, no score.
看这选手他打不打行？对，要他要不打的话，他站位的话，咱。
应该可以了，来吧，准备吧，走。
我下了 OK。
Shouter day. Chinese lead gets us underway here in the second end.
5-6，六区5，
No score in the first.
六区。
Korea keeps last rock here in end number 2.
Yes, and we will continue to see a defensive approach from China coming into the rings.
OK， 好球。
I kind of expect the corner guard from Korea now. And I think that's the call.
빠듯이 할게.
네, 오케이. 파이팅! 세아 라인 셋! 오, 웨이트 빠른 것 같다. 세 보여.
So after
세 보여.
very open first end, both team making some shots, getting to nail the ice,
태양아 둬야 되겠다. 컬 많이 된다.
building some confidence. Korea now feel like it's time to get some rocks in play here.
좋은 것 같은데. 너무 뉴패스 밟아버렸어. 서프 타대.
Quite wide, but it is a corner guard.
오케이.
See the time clocks in the background. We mentioned each team has 38 minutes of thinking time available. Show today.
线路有点直啊，顶线咱擦一擦。
Yeah, probably trying to play a tight center guard here to protect that stone in the house, but probably like to remain in the free guard zone. This one pulling up way short and actually over curling a bit, exposing that stone in the house.
这个出手有点软。
And Korea will probably try and make the hit and roll.
有点软。
我说多大劲儿 쟤들도 칼 많이 대고 하는데
17秒
올려야 될 것 같은데요?
몇 할까?
2, 3? 나 2, 3 차이 좋을 것 같아. 형 이거 차이
3/4 of it from the hack end.
Yeah, it's important to bring the guards a little closer. The longer or the farther they are from the house, the more time the Korean Rocks has to curl past them. So should be too hard this. Past the guard.
Try and roll right over to the wing.
자,
Takes it in that direction, but I don't think he's hidden behind the corner guard. But he does remove the Chinese shot, and Korea lies one. Well, look at it. Accessible either on the in-turn or the out-turn. It looks like the Chinese are going to play the in-turn.
Well, the good thing about rolling, even if you're in the open here, is you're forcing the play towards that corner guard, and that's where you want to try and place your stones. So if China can't roll back here, the roll is a lot shorter for Korea to come in behind the guard, but of course this rolling out. So
Flirted with the guard, and there we see Chinese coach Marcel Rock having a little word with his Korean coaching counterpart.
딱 맞춰서 안 가도 될 것 같아.
yeah, it's Bob Ursel on the left. Both of them legendary Canadian curling players, and we've seen quite a few Canadians on the coach benches in this region and also in Europe.
약하다 이거 좀 약하다.
넷, 셋, 다섯 와야 돼, 다섯. 다섯 와야 돼. 라인 좋아, 다섯. 약한 것 같아요.
There's no secret that there's a lot of competent people in Canada.
There's a lot of curling expertise in Canada, no doubt about that. But I think the other aspect of
이거.
countries looking for coaching expertise is they're looking to really bump up their programs. There's Korean coach Lim Myung-suk.
还是打了。
다시 와.
Alternate today, Lee Ki-bok, and we already mentioned Bob Ursel. So Korea really investing in coaching and preparation, and that's understandable. Of course, they are the hosts of the Winter Olympics. So the Korean curling program has really taken it up, not just a level, probably an entire building over the last 5 years.
와! 下线.
오.
와!
헐.
와!
Got a thin piece. Is it enough to push it out of the rings? I don't think so. I think that's going to stick around.
I think it's actually going to push that almost in behind the corner guard here. A bit of a disaster early on for China in this end.
뉴패스.
뉴패스야. 세개 거 알지? 8 정도?
오케이.
하여튼 뉴패스다.
There we see the shot rock is in fact really well protected on the outturn side. So time to split the house here for Korea.
여섯 틱.
Yoon Soo-ho.
Yeah, you might think coming around the center guard and being as close to the center of the house as possible would be the best, but that's not necessarily the case. They're rather looking for maximum separation between the yellows here, so China can't play a double takeout.
Maybe the thinking there is that center guard is so far out that not much to be gained by coming around the middle and just going old school curling, splitting the house.
Another option could have been to come around that yellow corner guard and sit two behind. That would be the tactic if you wanted to score 3, but Korea quite content here to, like you said, just, keep it old school, keep it simple, and hope they can score 2 here.
Close hit and a jam. Ooh,
Scary.
dodged a bullet there. Just off the rings. Zhou Chia, I think Yeah, it's off the rings. Yes.
웨이트 좀 올릴까요?
Safe to come down to the other end now.
예. 타이타이 잡은 거야.
Still a good chance for the Koreans here to generate a 2 or maybe more.
Actually, that Yellowstone on the back line, a bit of a nuisance for Korea now because they might jam it, and it might just be second shot if they do.
On and off. They're close. Oh, and it's a misread. This one is going to roll out of the rings. A little too cute with the sweeping call there, trying for the roll, and they lose the shooter.
여보. 갑자기 뭐 되게 많아지는데 여기.
So a let-off for Team China.
你要打完了，你要被六头人还是？
你啥意思啊？
对啊。
You can see that Zochia says, I'd rather go around on the out-turn side.
我感觉好像是8区9区。
Briefly considered trying to come around the high side on the in-turn to pick it out.
我感觉14秒8、9都没问题。
Yeah, also a bit scary coming that wide, though. It's you rarely play that wide, so you would probably not know how keen the ice is there, or even how it curls. So this is probably the higher percentage shot.
6、7。
Play the path you know.
可以的，提线。可以的，可以的。
Just look at this stone finish here.
对的，
It's going to cut big at the end.
OK，
Very nice.
Beautiful.
13초 8이다.
动作稍微大一点，要不你在这边小动作，我不知道啥意思。
那个地方球吧，有点意思，
就是你打吧，肯定是打。
Yeah, just leaves that red stone a bit short of the yellow, which means it's really hard to come after it and punch it out without wrecking on that stone on the wing. So Korea just ignoring them altogether, coming around the center guard.
타이트 민찬아. 으쌰 줘야지. 좋아. 으쌰 네 자꾸 들어오면 안 돼. 왜 세잖아. 웨디 여섯. 민찬이만 타이트. 웨디 여섯. 오버컬링. 오.
I want to keep this as high as possible here,
타이트해 세잖아.
seeing how that center guard is so far from the house.
Hurt Changmin saying over curling, so it's likely popped out the other side. Good weight there from Se-hyung, but
이거 안 했어.
그냥 놔둔 것 같아요.
might be available to the Chinese on the in-turn side. There we get a look at it.
踏板，
About half of it
他
open.
在前区11，我怕他打不出去的。
This type of shot can be a little tricky early in the game. I still might be a tad tracky. Might hit some fresh pebble inside the draw path. Sometimes the stone will catch some extra curl, but they're in full control here.
Easing it past the stone at the back of the house to lie to.
足够踏板。力量应该是
아니면 여기 여기. 끝.
T 뒤에 가려면 나는 안쪽 라인 갈 것 같은데 측면 거 올려야 될 것 같아. 7반?
저 7반 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 7반 좋은 것 같아요.
8은 솔직히 그냥
좀만.
여길 것 같다.
아까 창민이 40 아까 창민이 40 잡고 팔 던져봤거든요. 이어갔어요. 40 잡고 던져가지고 티 갔어요. 티 가긴
지금
갔는데.
T 앞인 거지. 이어가 T인 거지.
네. 마음에 들어요 여기. 네.
예.
형 T까지 괜찮아. 네.
지금 얼음 LSD랑 그때는 달라요.
네. 죽었어요.
네.
죽었어? 죽었어요. 확실히? 네. 확실히 죽었어요. 왜? 세액 얼마인데?
저거 일단
7반이죠. 형 8반 나와서 T 갔는데 맞나? 오케이 조금 죽었다 생각하고 던질게. 네.
Interesting call here, Sander. Well by the guard. Jesus, he got a piece. Sweeping for the curl now. Pokes it out the side door. And sticks around for third shot, so that's a nice result for China. And they are now going to force Korea to draw into the 8-foot facing 3 to score a single point.
Yeah, the good thing for Changmin Kim, though, is he's just played the draw and should have a really good guess on his final stone here.
저 패스는 어떨 것 같아?
저 패스는
So looking on.
비슷하게 던져도 될 것 같아요. 방금 예.
충분할 것 같아요. 한 1m 정도 올라가. 저 패스는.
Yeah, basically just throwing the exactly the same shot here. Just hand it to the sweepers, let them work.
아이 좋아. 잘 봐 이제. 계속 와, 아이 좋아. 아 이제 계속 와. 좋아 보여. 계속 와. 민차 좋아 보여. 이제 계속 와. 좋아 보여. 계속 와. 이제 괜찮아. 좋아 보여. 좋아 보여.
이제 괜찮아.
오케이. 좋아 보여. 좋아 보여. 굿스피핑. 자.
Changmin Kim drills it on the lid, as if to say, no worries, mate. I'll throw those all day.
1m 죽었어.
Especially when you've got front-end sweepers like that to take it all the way into the button area for you. So Korea opens their account, scoring a single point after 2 ends of play. It's Korea 1, China no score.
对啊，但是他肯定是。
Good line.
6이어야 돼.
괜찮은 것 같아요?
라인 타이타딩.
Welcome back inside the Erina Ice Arena in Erina, Australia. Live action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017.
Okay. Yep.
Hans Fraunlab here with you, joined by Sander Ulvag, and now China gets their chance finally to do something with last rock.
Yeah, well, it's a perfect start for China, really. They forced Korea to take just the 1 point, and they get the advantage back. That's how you try and play every end, is, you know, score 2 with the hammer and let your opponent have the 1 point. Get the advantage back, score another 2. So that's the whole plan for China here. So far, working great. I am surprised they played the hit, though, Hans.
더 세게 줄게.
You would think they would maybe want to throw the corner guard and create some offense, but
6.
staying defensive.
Well, if you wanted to try and be ultra conservative, you could basically try to blank your way out all the way to the 10th end, but that's really, really hard to do. I agree. I'm sure we're going to see some more offense from Team China as the game unfolds.
Yeah, well, blanking the whole game is something some teams would do in the past. And I think that's probably why at least a big reason why the free guard zone came into play. And you'll see now Korea at least attempting to use that to their benefit. They just realized that China wasn't going to play ball, so they want to throw a guard and force the issue a little bit, but slips into the rings here, and China can continue their defensive play.
Sojade.
我放到底，放到底，我。
And that one just hangs around out there on the wing.
웨이트 다운 시키면 안 될 것 같아.
그때는 안 돼.
룰은 승인해.
Rin Suo. Xu Jinghao.
3秒。
五。
프리.
五。
放你。
Just gives it a nudge. Gently eases it out of the rings.
这个顶大吗？
稍微有点大，
有一点。
稍微有一点。
민찬이 한번 팔라스죠. 올릴게요 저는.
This time Korea calling the draw to the house.
약하다.
Still quite a few rocks left. If they were trying to force the issue earlier on, might as well throw on the center guard here as well. But thinking to come into the house, but I think this actually will end up as a guard. After all,
오케이, 굿샷.
Does indeed come up short.
좋지. 올려야 돼. 집중해라, 은수야.
네.
무슨 니 가고. 그냥 알겠지? 이거 옆에서 봐줘, 알겠지? 리패스였잖아. 몇이야?
군대. 내가
China will try and peel it. Korea, of course, hoping for a miss.
예.
That way they can come around the guard and
예.
try and force China to score their single back and retain the advantage.
Well, this is going to make it interesting. It comes to rest on the wing there. Corner guard position, which you'd normally say advantages Team China, but immediately we see
아까보다 컬 더 많이 돼.
Changmin Kim saying, let's go around that.
어디가? 마지막 1년대.
그거 8산데 풀 수입이었다.
나 10kg 갔다.
그래 좋다.
This might be China's tactic to frustrate the Koreans and wait for them to make an aggressive move and capitalize from it. This is
웨이팅!
honestly a little bit bold
아니.
to go for this. Come around the corner guard without the hammer.
아, 뒤로 오면 안 돼. 절대 안 돼. 뒤로 오면 안 돼.
Say Hyung Seong can't really afford to go past the T line here, but this one is sliding. Now it's coming to rest. That's a pretty good rock.
오케이, 딱 맞아. 자,
So let's see what
7번.
Zhou Dejia does in response.
빨리 놔줬어 그냥.
11.
리스팅.
웨이트. 실수한 거 괜찮으니까 웨이트 잡아라. 하시면 웨이트 계속 잡아.
So Jixia just going to have to play quiet wait.
11代的，对，2、11代的
11
，5、11代的
11代的
，11代，2、5、
下线，
5、
下线，甩得远一点。
Nice shot.
OK，
And China lies 1.
뭐야?
11다 괜찮아. 나가니까. 올릴게.
你往前点了一下。
And this time Korea, they would like to just play the hit and roll to the open, knowing that if they play the hit and roll in behind the guard, they'll be behind or at best on the T line. You might see a freeze from China.
Kim and Oh on the brushes, holding it well.
약하진 않은데.
That's exactly what they were looking for. Makes the roll back towards the corner very, very long for China, and we'll probably just try and play the nose hit here. Similar to the first end, the only thing is there is a guard in place, so if either team rolls out here, there's an opportunity for the other team to force the issue a little bit.
力量小，
偏小一点，没有那么小，
力量小。
좀 많이 돌았어요.
세게 던질게.
For instance, if Chan Min Kim rolls out here,
센터는 안 던졌었는데.
China could come around that guard and set up for 2.
굿때 나와야 될 것 같아.
여기 센터 스피드 별로 안 좋은 것 같아, 맞지?
예.
컨트롤 최소 2초 9반 나와야 돼.
예.
네. 좀 넉넉하게 던질게, 알겠지? 예.
Discussing with his sweepers what he thinks it might do along the center line here. Chang Min Kim.
Yep.
3점! 컨트롤! 플리즈! 웨이 컨트롤! 와우! 컨트롤! 와우! 와우!
Right on the nose.
一刷子一。
절대로 저쪽으로 롤 되면 안 돼.
컨트롤이.
절대로 저쪽보다 이쪽이 더 나아. 네가 콜에서 거기 세웠으면 밑에 롤 찬스 있잖아. 굳이.
덥다.
굳이 얘 굳이 빼는 게 낫지.
바깥에 더.
Zhou Dejiao.
站起来，
Not looking for any heroics here. Just hit and stick.
최대한 롤 시켜볼게.
So now Chang Min Kim can
이건 과감하게.
think about gambling for that really, really long cross-house roll to maybe hide behind that corner guard. It's a mighty long roll, though.
현수 너멀이었잖아. 네. 너멀.
I think it's worth a try. If you just hit and sit in the open, it's pretty certain that China will be able to blank the end. So even if you try this and roll out, the end result will probably be the same. Sounds close.
은수야. 센터.
A little bit of a yes-no there. They did miss a sweeping call in the first end, and so maybe a little bit gun-shy about playing it too cute again.
내가 콜을
Yes, if you've seen one rock kind of cut on you, an instant curl, you're just a little bit worried it might happen again.
So now it's China's turn to attempt the blank. They'll try to remove the Korean rock and roll out themselves to keep last rock. So final stone on its way for China's Zhou Dejiao. Makes it perfectly, and China blanks the third end. So no score on end number 3. It's a pretty defensive battle so far. How's this one going to turn out after 3 ends of play? It's Korea 1, China no score.
형민이 형은 공격하고 싶었다. 엔드 좀 더 보내는 게 별로긴 한데. 좀 줬어.
Min Chan Kim, Korean lead.
컬 된다.
Perfecto so far in the early going as far as shooting percentage goes. This one will slide into the rings, full into the 4-foot. Now we see the corner guard, game on.
Yeah, one reason for that might be because we're in the fourth end, which is the even end. Often teams will try and control the even ends to have the last stone in the last end of the game. It's a bit early to think about it, but some teams do.
Show today, the Chinese lead at 75%, and he joins the action on the brushing. He's worried about this one being a little bit light. Right on the logo. No points for landing on the logo, unfortunately. It's a long corner guard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if China will just concede this end and play it defensively, or try perhaps to come around that corner guard, set up a better guard, and get the ball rolling.
Guard is so long that you could think about stacking them. This one is going to come short, so that almost does the job for them.
Yeah, so the hit and roll probably the call then. There we go. There's no port between the guards here, so quite a lot to roll to get in behind cover.
Today. Glances from underneath the hair. Will it hang around? He's got a piece. Lots of house to roll to, as Sandra pointed out, and that comes to rest certainly in that guarded area, and China's line one.
손 떼지 말자. 내 방금 거 몇인데?
7이요. 7반.
그 정도 나야 될 것 같다, 니도.
최소 그 정도 나와요.
만들어 갈게.
And we see it perfectly behind the long red corner guard.
세야 된다, 진짜. 더 안쪽이다.
Unsu Ho, 92% so far in the contest.
뭐 맞아요? Line's good. 웨이트 마티. 라인 진짜 완벽해. 워 룸. 웨이트만 가면 돼. 룸. 웨이트만 가면 돼.
타사.
괜찮아. 룸. No deep. 기다려야 돼.
5시, 6시에요.
기다려야 돼. 아직 기다려야 돼. No.
Wanting to keep this high, to keep the angle onto the back red as good as possible. Nice draw.
So good, in fact, that Chinese skip Zhou Dejia, even though that's a guard that he might be able to use himself, is looking to remove it.
Yeah, initially just calling the peel. But then his teammate saying, hey, why can't we just make the guard go away, but also try and roll the shooter into the house? Bit of a double whammy, and Skip agrees, so bringing the weight down here. Trying to catch about half the rock and roll the thread into the house.
Su Dingzhao at 63%, trying to remove the guard and hang around. And he does just that. Nice shot.
Yeah, pretty perfect.
So this end is shaping up a little more interestingly.
8대 차이 돼.
7반, 8 뭐. 좀 올리자. 좀 올리는 게 나을 것 같아.
Min Chen couldn't help himself, wanted to sweep that one, then apologized for sweeping. But the net result, Chinese shot is eliminated.
Okay.
Yellow stones belong to Korea.
Chance for China to play the hit and roll in behind the guard and sit two here.
Gets about a one rock roll, but should still be available for Team Korea. Zhu accepts the congratulations of his teammates.
오케이.
난 3번 찰게.
So the softer weight you throw, the more curl you get, and this will be a fairly controlled takeout here to get the nice curve in around the guard and get to the red stone.
Se-hyun Sung by the guard. What kind of angles he got? He's got one. Has he got more than one? Jams it. So China retains shot rock.
2번. 괜찮다. 웨이트 괜찮아.
안 나가요, 걔.
什么意思？
最起码把这一片儿头打出来了。
看看，看一眼。
Zhou initially looked at coming around that guard on the left-hand side of our screen, but now they're looking at hitting that top stone. Zhou Xia coming down for a chat.
你感觉咱进哈？
咱进。
我选一个。
只要后面选一个呢？
我感觉要不打那个，不能打那个，你打那个甩完就没那个劲了。
也有可能跟你对呀、你打甩把最起码你把这面敞开了，完了你打甩效果好的话，你把这个球直接形成一个保护。
这个都不如打那个了，你打完那个就假如说甩过去没啥劲，甩到这儿
但你打这个甩过来有大包角，你打那个甩过去没有大包角。
大包角你也是这个打。
这个现在漏吗？
漏3分之一。
你要打大包肯定漏了。
你觉得哪好点？一个打。
这球打完甩过来不赢他呀？你要打他甩过来还不高？
你们喜欢哪个？你们喜欢哪个？
强不投吗？
你感觉这个稍微复杂点吗？
我感觉这个
我可以打甩这个。
OK。
你感觉哪个好一点 ？OK。
OK。
哎。
So now, after all the discussion, they're circling back, I think, to the instinctive first call for skip Zhou Dejia. I'm going to try and just come around the intern side of that stone on the right-hand side of our overhead shot. I'd like to get a piece of that red 4-foot circle. Half around. Like the call?
刚开始投那个8区。
Yeah, don't mind this call. I think the other option would be to maybe corner freeze that yellow stone behind the corner.
China with last rock.
This is definitely one of the more aggressive calls we've seen from China so far. Probably the most aggressive.
连个青带就行。6区，底线，8区不底线8区。
可以放，
可以放。8区，
正常，正常。呀！一个人。啊！
第2个。
Oh,
给我，下线。
that is
别太刷吧，千万别。
inexcusable, really.
每个球都非常
A
精。
major sweeping error. That shot was made.
还行，赢了。
Just some little inattention there on the line read.
你往外擦不比往里擦好吗？
你往外刷，你没他那个劲。
Xiu Hanju can't believe it.
啊，빠다。내가 도움을 주신다.
타이트하게 잡아줘. 팔.
오케이. 두꺼운 반.
예.
That
안
shot,
되면 이거 할게.
오케이.
shot was really made, I think, Sander. They just
얼마나 싸워줄까?
중앙에 올려줘.
didn't jump on the sweeping in time. The weight was great.
Yeah, I think the weight was great. The problem is, you know, if they swept more, they would slide further. So they were just didn't want it any deeper. But of course, you can't have it both ways.
True enough. So a chance here for Se-hyun to take advantage of that error and maybe make a double takeout. He's at 92% here for the match so far. Job one is to get rid of the shot, though.
Yes.
오, 오, 오,
Go. Go.
Cross house, nudges the Chinese stone, pushes it out. Will it go out of the rings entirely? Not quite, but Korea lies 3, and that's a great shot there from Se-hyun Seong,
보자세요.
the Korean third.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. Cross house double. So important to make these shots when you have the chance.
주는 거 찍는다 이 사람. 내 되게 바보같이.
Very demoralizing for China.
아니 나는
It's a
니
confidence killer.
라인 잡아주라고 은수야 했는데
Yeah,
갑자기
in the space of 2 shots, a sweeping error on a come around that might have set up maybe a 3-end for the Chinese, and then a cross house double, and bang, you're looking at 3 yourself. So let's see how Sochia recovers from that.
5、6、5、6、
看力量，站，别
先呐，
6区，
Yeah, still chances for China here.
提线，
提
They
线，
try and play a freeze.
滑一点，
Try and put this red stone right on top of the yellow shot stone.
支持力量，线 OK。
6区，下线。
Yes! Go, go, go!
I love contact. They don't quite get it. They leave a little gap, and it slightly over curls. So good chance here for the Koreans to really just pick that one out.
Yeah, again, a bit of a sweeping error.
여기 좀 컬 좀 되더라.
스테이.
여기 잡고 필 던지면 될 것 같아.
만약에 우리 거 남고 제 거까지 다 나갈 수 있는 각이겠나?
그러니까
근데 얘도 그러면 그러면 뒤로
좋은
가니까
것 같아요.
맞지? 세게 만드는 것도 괜찮을 것 같아.
Sometimes it's
아니면
아니 근데
우리
그거
깨겠어?
생각하는 것보다 그냥 우리가 해놓고 기다리면 뭐.
그러자.
네.
우리 깨겼으면 굳이 때릴 필요는 없을 것 같아. 가드나 이런 거 하면.
졌어. 우리 게 졌어. 졌어.
저다고? 아 진짜? 나 이게 끝에 획 돌길래 이긴 줄 알았는데.
필 좋아. 필 마음에 들었는데.
예.
There's a risk of a jam on the redstone at the back of the house, but Team Korea won't be too worried about that one.
우리 거 2개 다 날아가면 더블하면 2점이야.
예.
그래서 안 날아갔으면 좋겠어. 더블 봐줘. 빨간 거 더블.
예.
And I think Changmin is saying, it's fine if we double out the back one. We don't have to pick it. If we lose the back rock and roll over and lie 3, that's okay too. 100% for the Korean skip so far. Trying to hold the line. Is it going to overcurl? Is he by that top stone? Just.
No.
Oh, best of both worlds. Removes 2, rolls out to the wing.
Good sipping.
Great shot.
Yeah, because that freeze is now not there for China. Can't play the same shot anymore. It's more open. Still, I'm a little bit worried though, because last time we saw Korea play, Shangmin Kim was over curling on his interns over and over again, especially with the upweight shots, and he did do that again here. So that's something we'll have to look out for.
对呀，还没擦呢，所以就下线。我这个稍微照的小点劲儿，你俩擦一擦，肯定能过去。
So the 3 stones in the house belong to Team Korea. China with last rock here on the 4th end, and here is So Jia, 90% so far, and he's going to need a good one here.
Still a chance to score 2. The skip's deuce, as we call it. Come around this hill.
Are they by that stone in the top 12? No, they feather it.
Well, at least this time they tried everything they could.
Yeah, no sweeping error there. That was maximum effort. You could hear the maximum effort from the Chinese front end. Two-thirds or so available from the hack end.
다 날리나? 깎아 보여. 날리진 않네.
Again,
날리는 건 아니네.
Changmin won't be too worried about hanging around. He just wants to remove the Chinese shot.
한 구간은 괜찮아.
약하지만 않으면 될 것 같아. 컨트롤.
네.
저기 그렇게 많이 돌진 않았어 아까.
예.
루이스도 너무 얼마였어?
I did hear the
8대 나왔어요. 8 초반.
word control there, so he might try and stick around.
Well, he doesn't want to flirt with that stone in the front 12-foot. That's the only really bad result if you crash that.
Yeah, no problem. Just catching the red and rolling out here. This is the intern again, like I mentioned. We'll see if he's tight on this type of shot once more.
가야 된다.
Wow.
An inside roll. Wow, that's cheeky. I love it.
Yeah, well, I don't think that was the plan necessarily.
Good call is right. Look at that. Actually rolled inside. That's hard to believe. And Korea lies 4. Wow.
But again, though, over curling that in turn, that's something he's going to have to work with.
Changmin Kim.
네.
제가 원래 빠른지 모르겠는데 14초 1위.
So now, facing 4. Team
Yeah.
China and Zhou Jia.
And no natural draw here either. You like to usually take ice out in the blue 12-foot, draw to the pin. This is crossing the center line. A bit less natural, both for the thrower and the sweepers.
6-7
Not an easy draw.
提前到一点点啊，提前到一点点，提前到一点点。
Sliding into the 4-foot, deep in the 4-foot, but it hangs around for shot. Wow, what a clutch draw there from Chinese skip. Zhou Jia draws the 4-foot, facing 4 counters to score 1 for China. After 4 ends of play, we're all tied up at 1.
약하니까 많이 돈다. 그래서 웨이트 했다. 니가 8번. 네. 내가 컨트롤은 거의 3초 나와야.
大哥，感觉你球减速稍微大一点。
一会儿价格再选。 OK。
Well, we're all catching our breaths after the conclusion to end number 4. Zhou Jia. Probably game-saving kind of a draw. Facing 4 Korean shots and drew it right into the 4-foot. So after 3 ends of frankly pretty conservative and not very exciting curling, the 4th end that exploded into a bit of a frenzy all of a sudden, and hopefully we get more of that.
Well, the center guard is in play here for the first time.
Good line.
We just touched on controlling the even ends. This being the 5th, China perhaps trying to force Korea to the single point so they could have the hammer back in the even ends after the break. That's why the center guard, and that's why Korea is coming around.
All right, away we go.
4、5、6 ，OK。一半一半。
China really turning up the dials now.
I love it.
Coming around everything.
我感觉5缺，我感觉5缺。可以。5缺5、6。好。下楼 OK。好。6缺。
Shoulder day. Chinese lead.
6缺。好。6缺。
哇，可以可以。耶耶耶。好。下线下线。
Man.
Go 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 go.
Once again, just feathering a guard going around.
Yeah, just another example where the weight's just a little bit too up, and they're just trying to squeak the guard, or in this case the front stone, with as little margin as possible. And I think they made the best out of that, actually.
No, I think you're right. Probably would have gone back 8 anyways, had it not clipped the guard.
Still partially buried.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yep.
Shot.
Rolls it away from the center line. Fifth end of play. This game is scheduled for 10 ends. If we're tied, we will play an extra end. And if we're tied after that, we'll play another one. Play until there's a winner.
It's quite rare, though.
It's quite rare. Blanking the extra end isn't usually something you're going for.
I have seen it.
Me too.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Easy.
Right in the nose.
롤까지.
And this is we're going to see this a few times until China makes the roll in behind the guard.
3초.
Korea quite content to keep their stone away from that center line.
Yeah, probably want to even try and roll a bit to the wing here.
오. 다운. 와이드. 클린. 와이드. 오. 다운. 와이드. 오. 컨트롤.
We heard them saying wide. Are they going to stick around? No, they're not.
빠지고 셌어. 집중해야 돼, 우시야. 이런 샷 할 때는. 네.
톤은 톤 1났어.
난 05.
난센거 같은데.
그러니까 세진 않는 것 같다. 세진
않는 것 같아.
And this time China not risking coming around once more. We'll just come after the shot stone. We'll still have a chance to get the force here. Just I'll hit this roll to the wing. Korea makes the hit again, and then they can try and hit roll behind the guard.
This one, it's all over the top one.
Oh,
And does he leave Team Korea corner guards to use? Yes, he does.
big mistake there. And just looked a bit soft for weight hands.
Yeah, just a quiet control or ward kind of weight, and net result, Korea lies one, and they've got two corners to work with.
팔은 안 된다. 그냥 기다리면 되니까 여유 있게 가는 게 나아요.
아니면 아예 여기.
네 감각에서 와 세다 싶을 때 너 차야 돼, 우시야. 형 뒤로 숨기는 거 별로예요. 뒤로.
더블가 히트앤롤가. 히트앤롤가 더블가.
Are they thinking about the split center?
No, I think they were just saying that if we come around the corner, China's going to play the hit and roll off for our stone center line side. So they're worried about the double perhaps also.
왜? 우리가 저것 때문에 어중간하니까.
Seems like a pretty straightforward decision.
샷이야. 어떻게 할지 정확하게 정해야 돼. 이게 나을 것 같냐?
예.
Yeah, I agree. Just to come around the corner.
형 스플릿 괜찮아요.
어떻게? 이거?
예.
난 별로인 것 같아.
예,
이건 너무 어려워.
예.
너무 어려워, 형.
Still looking for our first multiple point end of the game. Is it going to come here?
다섯, 셋.
세게 하는 것 같아. 약한 것 같아. 라이트 할 때 민찬아. 민찬아. 어디야? 태양이 왜 이렇게
다섯, 넷, 넷, 넷. 약해요,
We'd
셋.
like to keep these yellows fairly level.
어디야?
같은 선 만들게요.
계속 와.
Just top of the 12 foot and around the guard.
계속 가야 돼.
Looking pretty good.
오, good. 샷. Good sweeping.
굿시. 오, 굿시. 굿시.
Still an angle for a double perhaps.
좀 약하게 찼는데.
그냥 저기 만들 수 있는 웨이트.
Korea line 2.
8秒。
Pat on the shoulder usually means throw me a
就是
missile.
打定往那边震。
Zhou Chia.
哇，好。
Looking for a bit of a roll to the left.
OK。
Creeps at about one rock width towards the Korean shot, but
不大，这都基本上掉了这么大。
great chance here for the Koreans to just roll it back the other way, maybe 3 or 4 feet.
이 패스도 빠르진 않대.
가까이 왔어.
오케이. Yep.
오, 컨트롤 다운.
Yep. Go.
컨트롤!
컨트롤.
Go. Yep. Go. Yep. Go.
Here's the roll.
Bro.
Love to tuck a corner behind that red if they can. Almost do. It's a very nice shot. Se Hyung-seong
들어가는 게 나았겠어. 많이 잘
opens quite a gap between those two rocks in the house.
장신 나이다. 장신 나이다.
By the guard. Little outside roll. Nice shot.
우리가 이겼지 싶은데.
Chang Min's going to have a look at both stones to try and figure out, am I shot? Good smile there from Sochia.
뒤로 가도 되는 거면.
Looks to me like Korea is lying one.
비슷해 찰 거야. 썰은 다 비슷하다.
예.
동의 하나.
동의.
오케이.
약하지 않은데.
So are they looking to duck around that shot center?
Yeah, I think so.
좋다.
다섯.
Just
나이스 굿.
perhaps a corner freeze, actually.
여섯. 다섯. 라인
넷.
다섯. 좋아.
One of the two options.
다섯. 길면 안 돼. 다섯.
On the corner of the red rock or around it.
Wow, look at it finish.
제발 이겨야 돼 우리가.
Just left it a fraction late.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake.
Korea really wanted to have a little bit thinner angle and leave themselves lying two, but instead they let it over curl, and now they're only lying one.
Yeah, just not the tolerance there. Sometimes you have to think what's the best way to miss.
这个漏的大，这个漏的大。
旋打呗，旋打呗。
漏多少啊？
这么大点儿。
这么大够吗？
1/3小一点。
不行就软麦，直接软麦也可以。
软麦，软麦。
So was looking at the run back, and
漏太小了，大哥。
it's a shot
打球离多近？
not without risk.
半杆。
漏的有点小啊。
所以说，
得软麦吧。
I was asking if you could see enough of the yellow, but
软麦。
from this view, you can see a quarter maybe of the yellow. So the run back, the easier shot here.
Risk, of course, is if you never blow it by, you're opening up a chance of a three.
正常。
Have they held the line? No, they do blow it by. Trying to get it on the rings to salvage something. Lying fourth shot, but now here's the chance for Korea to really cash in.
여기 있는 것보다 좀 더 느리대.
아까 그
약간
라인
7번 됐는데 지금 6반인데. 아 6분대.
6판인데.
새 아까 7반 됐잖아. 조금 더 느리다고 말했는데.
Pretty brave man to throw the intern at this sender.
Yeah, well,
은수야.
it's makeable.
웨이트 더 많이 죽었는 것 같아. 똑같은 것 같아. 웨이트.
더 많이 죽었어요.
더?
더 많이 죽었어요.
네. 아까 8반이었잖아. 더 던져야 돼. 똑같은
더 던져야 돼요.
더 던져야
돼. 네.
진짜?
칠 때 들어가야 돼요 이제.
어?
칠 때 들어가야 돼요.
Perhaps the team asking
Are you sure?
the same.
You really sure? Risk, of course, on the intern. If he's a fraction wide, he clips that red, and then he spills right across the top of everything. little bit more tolerance on the outturn, but on the in-turn, he's probably thinking I can control the roll better after a contact.
8번!
Down! Yes! Hard line! Hard!
Oh my goodness. Well, Sander, you called it. A couple of times he's been tight on his in-turn, and that one was the in-turn, and once again, right out of hand, they jumped it, and no contact at all. That's a huge surprise.
It's like the 6th or 7th time in a row I've seen him
던졌어야 되는데.
overcurl the in-turns. Just, it's either not taking enough ice or a bit of a technical issue.
조금 지나가 넘어간 거예요.
Wonder if he has a bit of a slight clockwise rotation in his slide. And just kind of gets going early.
大甩。
Well, regardless, that's a huge let-off for Team China, because that was starting to look like a 3. But now here's a chance for the Chinese to really take Korea out of the end.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Back-to-back clean misses from both skips.
Sorry.
Sorry indeed. My gosh. That wasn't even close.
미안.
Well,
Judgment is saying sorry. Lots of sorry on the ice right now, but there won't be any need for apologies if he can make this one.
and now the question, how to correct.
Well, you've just missed the in-turn, and you go right back to the well. You throw it again.
Taking the same ice. So thinking to throw it better here probably, or sometimes you throw it a little harder. Take some of the curl out of the shot.
가, 민수야. 가.
노달! 화이팅!
썰봐.
계속 가면 돼.
Yes!
너 말이야.
Yes!
Steely determination from Chanmin Kim.
Whoa!
1, 2, 3 points for the Koreans. Perfect execution that time from the Korean skip. Makes up for his miss on the first shot with an absolute ripper on the second. Finally, we get our multiple point end in this tight contest. 3 points for Korea after 5 ends of play. It is Korea 4 and China 1. Highlights from our game featuring China and Korea in the second end. Korean skip Changmin Kim having to draw it into the lid facing 3. Drills it, and Korea goes up 1-0. Facing 4 Korean stones, Chinese skip So Jia throws an absolute game saver, comes to rest almost full 4-foot, and after 4 ends of play they tie it up at 1. Then in the 5th, after clean misses by both skips, it's the final shot here for Korea's Changmin Kim. Surgically removes the Chinese stone, rolls into the 8-foot for a big count of 3. And at the halfway point of the game, Korea is on top by 4-1. And taking a look at the team stats at the halfway point, China and Korea. Korea on top by a 4-1 score. And in the shooting percentage category, definite advantage here for Team Korea. Curling 90% as a team. That is a very high quality. China at 79% as a team. No stolen points yet in the match. So getting us underway as we return to live action at the Erina Ice Arena is Team Korea's lead. Min Chen Kim.
아직 앞이 나. 13초 21. 13초 21. 13초 1. 그 스위핑 세연아. 굿샷. 굿샷. 그 스위핑 세연이요. 세연이요. 형 똑같아요.
So after a game that was a little slow to find its place, the game's gaining momentum. A wild 4th end that saw So Jia draw against 4 to save a point, and then a wild 5th end. Missed takeout by Kim, missed takeout by Zhou, and then some absolute perfect shooting by Changmin Kim to close it out and get his 3.
아직.
Chan Kim,
라인은 좋아. 괜찮아.
93%.
라인 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 라인 좋아. 세연아 웨이트만 하고. 라인 진짜 좋아. 웨이트 진짜 좋아요. 웨이트 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 웨이트 좋아. 으쌰 와 같이.
들어가야지.
헐 들어가야지. 헐.
들어가야 돼 그거.
자 민찬아. 자. 스위핑. 으쌰죠.
Sweeping it to cover a corner of the shot rock. So is looking at the double takeout.
Yeah, Korea coming into the house with both the rocks here, perhaps thinking to force China to blank the ends and take control of the even ends as we come to the later stage of the game. Really important for China to stick the shooter and play here, which they do. If that one rolls out, Korea peels the corner, which they will do anyway. But at least this time, at least they will have one red in play.
Red Chinese stone just biting the 12-foot, but Changmin Kim asking Uns to, is it 90% for the game, to rip that corner guard. Trying to get action on the other shot, almost do. Just going across the top.
Now you might be thinking, why not hit the yellow here and sit 2? Well, it's just a tad too early, and Korea has so many stones left, so many chances to play a double takeout. So they're just wanting to delay the move a little bit, throw a guard. They know Korea's going to want to peel it. And they might do that a couple of times before they then make a play onto the yellow rock.
Gets in front of his own stone in the top 12 foot. So nice shot there by Zhu.
오케이.
Will be a bit of a cat and mouse game here. Who's going to change up the play first? You know, you might see Korea change it up and go from defense to offense before China does.
And Su gets a piece, just nudges it. Big weight, moves that stone easily out of play. Mentioned that these teams are starting to think about the playoff phase of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. We've got 9 member associations competing in the men's event. 4 of them will advance to the playoff round. Top-ranked team will play the 4th place team in the semifinal. Second-ranked team will play the 3rd-ranked team. Winners of the semis will advance to the gold medal match. Losers of the semis will play in the bronze medal match. Usually as an athlete, you're not that excited about playing the bronze medal match, but this year at the Pacific Asia Championships, bronze medal match has got a new and a very important meaning, Sander.
Yeah, 3 spots at the World Men's Curling Championship in Las Vegas in April.
Whoa, good line. Clean A up.
So, of course, bronze medal gives you that 3rd spot.
Good. Good keeping.
And at the Worlds, a chance to gather Olympic points and qualify for Beijing 2022. So there's many things on the line here.
This is the first year that 3 teams from the Pacific Asia region will qualify to play in the World Men's and also the World Women's Curling Championship. Reflective of the growth in both playing numbers as well as the level of skill and talent in the Pacific Asia region.
This one might be over curling. Just hoping for this one to die down. It's a bit deep too.
Willing it to stop, but it slides and exposes probably 3/4 of that stone in the top 12 foot. So like a hungry dog on a bone, Changmin Kim jumps on that one.
Yeah, this time we'll come after the red stone top of the tail foot. Try and sit 2.
Yep.
Catch the guard, that's a valid option.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Good.
They will. Just.
Okay.
That's plan B. That definitely wasn't what they were going for, though. Se-hyung shakes his head.
And,
we got a great look at the stone on the release, and I don't think it was a question of the release. That's just the way that they iced the shot. You see Changmin waving his arm up and down. He thinks maybe the weight was just a hair down from what he was expecting.
And so very often it's with your 3rd, 2nd stone, you'll make the change. You go from throwing the guards to hit and roll.
Go, 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 says Ojia, and the sweepers are definitely go, go, going. But they wreck on their own. So 2 stones down that same path, similar results.
I think it's just tight there. You can see him instantly after releasing it, looking a bit panicked. He's not happy with this throw.
So a break for the Koreans. Now a chance to remove every Chinese stone from play.
롤 돼야 되는데.
안으로요. 마지노선 8개.
아니 여기 스트레이트야. 여기 스트레이트였어. 저기 제대로 할 때 스트레이트였어. 내가 저기 컨트롤도 괜찮을 거야. 진짜. 왜냐면 얘들 코너 가뒀을 때 계속 빠졌어. 컨트롤. 세야 그 라인에 컨트롤 업. 오케이 9번.
Just confirming with this 3rd the weight that he's going to throw. Control up. Not quite full takeout weight, but pretty close to it.
Yeah, tend to use a lot of English words, this Korean team. Sometimes it's just works better than your native word for it.
후반.
Do the same in Norway and in other countries.
They were hoping to roll it and maybe cover half of their shot rock.
갈 거면 가야 돼. 왜냐하면 2점 보고 있잖아, 상대방은. 맞지? 나 가버리면 2점 못 봐. 맞나? 이런 거 봐야지. 맞지?
작아, 아저씨, 아이가. 작아.
I really enjoy the communications among that Korean foursome, Sander. They're really supportive of each other, really informing each other on every shot, what's happening. Everybody's fully aware. All four players are fully engaged.
Well, it's always easier to do when you're up in a game.
Well, that's true too. That's a very good point.
And you know, it's the teams that can keep that level of communication when you're down in games that tend to win championships.
And that's an excellent point, Sander. That one hits and rolls out of the rings. So struggle getting things going here for Team China here in the sixth. They've had a couple of opportunities, but
이쪽 던진 적은 없어.
half shots really have just been letting them down.
근데 창명 아까 1로 던졌지.
뭐가 나을 것 같아? 커머라운드 하면 블랭크도 갈 수 있어, 상대방. 근데 내가 스플릿 하우스 하면 절대로 블랭크 못 가. 1점만 따야 돼. 야, 저기 가는 게 나을 것 같아. 네. 어때?
포포.
Bit of a debate whether they come around their own shot or split the house.
저기가 나을까? 난 거기가 마음에 들어. 나 거기가 마음에 들어. 맞지?
더블 하기도 힘들고 얘들은.
넘어가지면 이쪽으로. 거기가
치든
제일
뭐
나아.
하든.
거기가 제일 나아. 네.
아니?
아니 여기. 거기가 나을 것 같아 나는.
Just trying to think, where can we leave it that makes the shot the most difficult for Team China?
칠 저기 갈 수 있어. 네.
Thinking if we just go wide, he just draws the 4-foot, so bringing the stone a little bit closer to the scoring area.
Yeah, I didn't
Maybe
mind.
make him think about a hit.
I did mind coming around their own yellow here. Wouldn't be too afraid of them playing a double, really. The sixth end would be great to steal one.
Sure would.
가야 된다.
태아 도와줘.
Well, every Korean sweeper on this one trying to get a piece of the rings. Oh, just short, despite valiant efforts. So a let off for Team China. They were probably thinking, well, we're going to be forced to take one, but now they have the opportunity to blank.
Well, all in all, probably a result both teams are happy with. You know, you don't really like to blank the sixth end if you're China. Now Korea can try and force China to score one in the seventh and gain control of the even ends.
First things first, though, for Zode Jia. Has to remove the Korean rock, and he's trying to roll out himself, but will he? Catches it pretty thick, but safely off the rings. Blank end in here in end number 6 after some opportunities both ways. No score in the 6th end, but Korea carries a 4-1 lead into the 7th end of play.
라인 좀 타이트하대요.
Welcome back inside the Erina Ice Arena in Erina, Australia. Hans Frauenlob and Sander Rolvag with you at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. You're enjoying live action
끝까지 봐, 끝까지 봐.
on a Monday afternoon in Australia. 21 years since this event's been held here.
미치겠네.
And all the players and frankly all the crew are quite happy that the event has returned to the land down under. Sander?
Yeah, pretty nice setting. Central coast, beaches, warm weather. We've had some rain, but it's shaping up again, so very pleasant.
So Sander, I'd like to pick up on something you were saying towards the end of the previous end, which was China didn't really want a blank 6, and now that we're into the 7th, can you take me through your thinking there?
Yeah, so controlling the even ends. The first point is most teams like to have the last one and being able to determine the 10th and usually final end of the game. But the most important part here is how many times you allow your opponent to score and how many times you score yourself. If you look at the scoreboard, there's no steals up there. Both teams have scored with the last one advantage. So thinking that that's going to happen for the remainder of the game, right now, with 4 ends to go, both teams score twice each. But if China, for instance, is able to blank the 7th end as well, score in the 8th, they will only allow Korea to score in the 9th end. China will be able to score again in the 10th, and effectively scoring twice yourself and letting your opponent only score once. So, yeah,
The even ends matter, so especially as you're coming towards the end of the game. Last rock is an advantage. You're absolutely right, Sander.
yeah. So just to summarize, basically trying to have the last one more times than your opponent.
China's got the last stone in this 7th end.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit surprised that the corner guard came up from China and Korea coming into the house.
Control.
So that indicates to us that they're really not thinking blank, that they're thinking about scoring aggressively whenever they've got the hammer.
Yeah, well, I say surprised, but of course they're trailing by 3, so they would have to go for the score. But if this was a tied game, for instance, that would be probably the approach. Slipped my mind a little bit. Korea, of course, with the 4-1 lead here.
So then the tactic, if you're Changmin Kim, Korean skip, really just try to keep it as tidy as you possibly can.
Yeah, and if you can let China score 1 in this end, you're pretty happy, because he'll probably have last one two more times in this game, and you're really in control.
Su Jinghao, Chinese second player. Teams from the countries hosting the next 2 Winter Olympics involved in this game. Pyeongchang 2018 coming up, and Beijing 2022 will be the site of the following Winter Olympics.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Whoa. Good.
Good execution there from Team Korea, ripping that guard.
Yeah, and China will have to remain very patient here. And this is very much the same as in the previous end. Not going for that yellow stone early, but just delaying the aggressive move, letting Korea peel some guards first. And we'll see if they make the change on the 3rd second stone again, like in the 6th.
Whoa, go. So pretty close to whatever they wanted. Smiles from the front end. Come on, guys. Tell me when. Kim immediately looks to remove that guard. Si Hyung Seong, Korean third, executes it perfectly.
Yeah, they're making this look easy.
And we can assure you that it is not. At least as far as this guy goes. But these teams have got high levels of skill. Cao Chi-ha.
23之间，23之间，23之间，稍微大一点，3区，正常，3区，稍微大一点，稍微大点，
到这块减速啊！
Throwing a guard like this, usually not the hardest shot to play, but with the amount of curl in the ice, makes it just a little more difficult than usual. And of course, we all love lots of curl in the ice. Just for this particular shot, just makes it a tad harder, and you really need to focus, throw it clean, and sweepers needs to be alert.
Whoa. 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 Off. 괜찮아. 괜찮아.
Another nice clear there by Se Hyung. No, that's right, Sandra, the guard. Because the stones curl or curve so much in the last couple of feet of travel, you can get the distance right, but you can really mess up the line just in that last extra one rock of curl, because it's going to curl half a rock in that last distance.
Yeah, and because if you overcurl the guard and show just a piece of the shot stone in behind, it's easy for your opponent to come around with the amount of curl and get to your stone. So we will see China make the move here with the second stone as predicted.
Noses the rock, leaving two stones in play. Pretty flat-looking double here if the Koreans wanted to try and remove both of them. They'd have to throw it really hard.
거의 센터 잡았는데
It's
그렇게 많이 돌진 않았어, 맞아요.
it's a very makeable shot here.
필 어떤데? 좀 더? 더?
또 없어졌어?
나 여기.
형.
어?
두께 반.
내가 아니다 어차피 내가 안 해.
아마 좀 두꺼워도 될 것 같아. 좀 더.
Heard Changmin say peel.
반.
Clearing kind of takeout weight, quite heavy. The risk is that sometimes when you're looking at this saying, okay, I'm going to throw peel, and then you just floated a hair and all of a sudden you kick a field goal and your competitor's got a shot at 3. Your customer's probably not very happy either.
진짜야?
많은 것 같아요. 괜찮은 것 같아요. 괜찮은 것
좋은 것 같아.
같아요.
좋은 것 같은데.
가자.
Got one, pushes the other. Is it enough to move it out of the rings? They can't sweep it, so they're just encouraging it. Hangs around half the 12-foot.
뻑뻑하다.
Couldn't do much better than that. If he would have hit it thinner, he would have hit the back of the other rock. But there we see it. Hits it full, pushes it. Because the stone hasn't reached the tee line, the Koreans can't sweep it. So it's moral support only.
Yeah, just a hair too thick, and you do tend to overcurl those. Like you said, you don't want to throw it out there and score a goal. And yeah, the silent takeout. And in some ways, that was actually the worst result, because China can hit and roll to the other wing, and there'll be no chance of a double, not even in a theory, for the Korean skip.
Has to stick around, though. Oh, very nice shot there from Sote-Chia. Splits the house, and China's line 2. So Sandra Rolvag was talking about the control of the even ends and how China might think about blanking this end, but conversely, a score of 2. China hasn't been able to deuce this entire game. Big chance for them here.
Yep.
Once again on the in-turn, on it right away.
Hi. Whoa.
뭘 되겠나?
Much happier with this one, though. Hits and sticks, and Korea lies 1. So China now will have to play a takeout. They can't draw for their 2. They're going to have to hit and stick. Good opportunity, though, for China to get back in the game. 2 points right when they need it.
얼음 어떻게 움직이나 보자.
上马力量啊，
上马力量，
上马力量场内线有点大一点，3秒，接近3秒。
上马接近3秒。
上马力量，给的小一点。
别着急，别着急，
Looking pretty good. Perfect execution there from China's Zhou Dejia. Scores 2. China back in this game with a 2-point end on the 7th. They close it up, but Korea still leads it by a score of 4-3.
边区就稍微走一点，他真的是。
방금 저거 범퍼 다운인가?
Back to live action here at the Erina Ice Arena, Erina, Australia. Our feature match, China versus Korea, here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017, and things are heating up here on a Monday afternoon in Erina. China with a very nice deuce to get themselves back in the game, Sander. And does this change things psychologically a little bit for Changmin Kim? Now do you start thinking about getting a deuce as opposed to just scoring?
Good.
Well, you know, they're still 1 up with the last stone here. I'd feel pretty happy. And I think scoring 1 still pretty good for Korea in this end, you know, and they can still then afford to give up to China. They'll be tied coming home with the last one advantage, but of course if they can score a soft 2 here, perfect. That would pretty much put the game away. But I think it's important for them to make sure they can score here, not get too involved in around the forfeit. Don't want too much of a messy end.
You see the stats there from the leads in this game, and Min Chan Kim has had a blinder. He's at 95%. Very nice game.
Yeah, and the leads become even more important here in the last couple of ends for China. The guards really have to be there, and for the Korean lead, can't make too many mistakes and leave his team on the back foot early on.
Chinese lead, shoulder day. Hard work here. Does he buy that front one? No, he stacks it on top.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to hear actually when they stop the screaming. That's when you know it's a missed shot.
So maybe an early decision and maybe a chance to almost fall into the trap here for Team Korea. It's kind of set up now, so maybe you start thinking about a deuce, but they're flirting with those center guards, and so there's an element of danger in it too for Team Korea.
마지막에 오! 마지막에 은수 가. 은수야 가.
Safely by the guard. Now they're kind of trying to sweep it to Barry. Oh, impressive brushing there from the Koreans. They can really move the brushes.
Also really two nice throws by Min Chang Kim. Keeps both those rocks. Top house in front of the tee line. Blocks off the path to the button for China. They're going to have to move those yellows at some point if they want to steal here.
Shooting how? Chinese second. Talk about moving the brushes. They can really carry that rock such a long way. Both teams, excellent sweeping technique.
14秒7.
4분의 3.
I think that carried farther than they were even expecting themselves, Sandra. There was a little bump there that they probably didn't want.
여기 어때?
Now, Changmin Kim says, okay, this is getting a little sketchy. I'll get rid of those center guards.
Yeah, well, he wasn't allowed to remove them earlier. Free guard zone was in play, not anymore. And he'll take his first chance of just ripping it open here.
Bit of a float there from Eun-soo Oh. But big weight. Safely pushes both of the Chinese guards out of play and rolls out himself. That's as good as you can do. Great shot.
Yeah, perfection. 3 perfect shot for Korea to start this end. Makes it really tough for the Chinese.
See reflected in the shooting percentages from Eun-soo. Consistent as you get, 93% on both his draws and his hits. That is a good afternoon's work.
It's a totally different Korea we're seeing today. They were not on their game against Japan. Went to school and definitely learned something coming into this game.
Okay.
No, it's a nice shot there from Team China. They are by no means out of this one. There's only 1 point in it. Korea's leading at 4-3. Korea does have last rock here in the 8th.
Yep. Shot.
Very nice shooting there from the Korean front end.
So 1 more guard, and then I think you'll see China make a move on the next one. Third, second stone, once more.
And Sander, you've been remarkably prescient this afternoon. So, timeout being called now by Team China.
Yeah, and I think this is not necessarily what they want to do with the next shot, but the next couple of shots and the rest of the end. We'll try and listen in.
他要不清呢？他不清拿什么？他不清他传呢？咱要站位，人要不清，人砰往里再传是黄。
现在啥？就怕咱一让这个还不清，那啪一伸一下咱的红出，你好吧，我稳着。
Coach Marcel Rock joining them on the ice surface.
Pushing hard or no?
Maybe so.
Don't know. So you have to decide on what you want to do. If you want to push really hard, you can keep guarding. And then what do you do with your last one? Last one, you're gonna either move the double. They're gonna be wide open. You force one at best. So 2 choices. What?
我的第二个。
对。
黑暗的肉 double.
Didn't roll now.
No, guard.
One more.
Okay.
One more guard.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
You like it?
Well, there you heard the conversation, and nice bit of coaching there by Marcel. He was drawing out from the players, how hard do you want to push? How much are you prepared to gamble to try and force the issue here in this end? Do you want to throw a guard? If you throw a guard, what are you going to do with the Korean stones? So I really like the way that he took the players through their own thinking process of how aggressively they want to play this end center.
Yeah, and I think we're just going to do the same thing they were looking to do initially. Throw one more guard and then make a move.
头带头带，
2区 OK 啊？
头带头带
后面斜着长，
头带，
2区，
clean
刷子小一点，刷子
这里这里，
下线
刷子刷子，
下吗？
下线 hard hard yes whoa
上，
好球
Good execution there on the guard.
是不是斜着掉后面？
我觉得掉
往上顶点儿不行。
Now it's decision time for Team Korea.
인턴 많이 돕는다니까. 우리가 이쪽 막는데 얘들 이리로 탭하잖아.
되겠어요.
된다. 진짜 된다.
누구 볼 거면 여기. 근데 막
아직.
나오면 저희가 구성 들어가면.
도를 카운트 좀 더 했으면 좋겠어.
이거 사이가 좋은데.
Now Korea calls their timeout in response.
3 rocks left.
Coach Bob Ursel comes onto the ice surface.
Again, they might. Next step.
Yeah, I think if we score a point this
Yes,
end,
yes.
I think the main thing is for us to score.
Score, yes.
They've got 3 rocks left.
Yeah.
I think if we peel,
Yeah.
they may go to another guard.
Yes.
They might.
Yes.
At that point, you might want to come around this way. But don't if it doesn't look real good.
Yes. Okay.
Peel it again.
Yeah.
They're gonna on their second last one. They're gonna have to come in
Yes.
for sure, right? And then you've got 2 shots left to deal with that. So, I mean, the main thing is let's get a point this end. If they don't make things perfect,
Yes.
you may get a chance for a couple of points, right? But yeah. Okay.
카드 열자 알겠지? 그리고 찬스 오면 아마 한번 2점 볼 수도 있어. 안전한 상태에서.
Slightly different approach from the coaches.
절대로 안 되니까.
Coach Bob Ursel,
여기 얼음 좋아하세요? 나 그냥 네가 던질
to my ears, was really trying to not quite direct his team, but really encourage his team to be thinking about just scoring one this end. Make your choices, but never forget the primary mission, which is to make sure you score 1 point.
Yeah, you like to come out there and coach them and take them through it in a different way, perhaps. But you only have that 1 minute with a translator. Just try and make your point simple and clear, and that is to take the guard off and make sure you'll have a chance to score your single here. And that's what we talked about coming into the end. 1 point for Korea would be perfectly acceptable and
되게 좋아.
would give Korea good control over the game.
So once again, good execution from Team Korea. Se-hyung Seong. Perfect peel on that guard. And so now at some point, maybe that point is now, Sochia has to make some kind of a play on those Korean stones.
Yeah, they'll play a double here and try and roll to the wing. Set 2.
Yes! 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 Whoa! Yes!
Oh, just blows it by the Korean shooter. Just missing the double takeout. Yeah, just that much. Just that much. We see a great battle at the third position. Both of the players are in the 90% range. That's really impressive play from both of the players at the third position.
얇으면 이렇게 할게.
Se-hyung and Chia.
생각보다 좀 일찍 했네. 어차피 저거 하려고 했어요.
아까 나 여기 컨트롤이었어. 카메라 컨트롤 안 한대. 9번.
06이었나? 아니다 3006. 아 9번. 아 9번. 그거 안 셌다. 안 셌어 그거. 9번 안 셌어.
Kim tightens up the ice just slightly.
룸. 다운. 룸. 예.
Sweepers immediately say it's down.
Go.
Oh, that worked out pretty well for Team Korea.
아까 그거
A little inside. Sweepers did a great job, Sander. They told Kim straight out of hand, weights down.
더 갔잖아 그것보다.
Yeah, good communication and perfect result, I think.
顶多是个打定的。
Gets lots of separation.
打定什么劲儿？
再收点，再收点。
什么劲儿？
大力，大力。
OK。
他俩进呢。
他俩进。
Can he hammer this on nose and make a run back double?
Yeah, I think it's there. Just you're going to have to throw it pretty hard.
Gonna have to catch the top stone quite thin. Top yellow stone.
너무 얇게 막아가지고 더블 각이 잘 나왔어. 내 생각에.
So, run back for So did Jia. Oh, how good is that? Raised double takeout for Zode Jia. Beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. Read the angles perfectly there. Just hits it right on the beak and comes off for him. Really important shot here to stay in the game.
Oh, absolutely perfect. Great, great shot. One more look. It's worth it. Bang, bang, bang. Out they go. And terrific separation as well. So you're not only getting rid of the Korean stones, but you're making their chance of scoring that much more difficult. And we see the shooting percentages at the fourth stone position. Changmin Kim with a bit of a advantage on Sodejia, but that last stone by Zo was just a ripper right when this team needed it.
3분의 2. 되게 좋아서 결혼. 근데 센터 쪽은 좀 내려갈 것 같기도 하고. 네. 맞지? 센터 쪽으로.
Surprising call
내가 포지티브하게
coming up.
세야 돼, 맞지? 네. 예.
Looking at the double takeout.
득건반. 예.
This is a bit strange, you know. Bobby Ursel came out there saying, make sure you score your single. And they're looking for a double. Could blank the end, that'd be good, but this is taking a risk, giving up a steal.
Oh, just blows it by the target rock. Hangs around for second shot.
조금 더 잡아야 될 것 같아. 오케이.
Yeah. I think I misspoke a little bit, Hans. There's a couple of rocks left.
Couple to come. That's all right, but I understand what you're saying because he catches. If he makes the double and rolls out, for him to have made the double and to hang around, it would have had to been absolute precision. And if he rolls off the rings, then yeah, you're probably given the option of blanking or scoring for Team Korea.
기다리는 게 나아. 너무 타이트하게.
So Dejia, with what on the face of it's a much more straightforward shot for his final stone of this eighth end, but we did see a clean miss down this path a couple of ends ago, so nothing's a gimme. Oh my gosh, it happened again.
Wow.
The exact same spot in the ice, similar kind of weight, and so from a unbelievably good shot to maybe a shot that could cost him the game.
That's very soft. It's
almost hack weight.
Yeah, it's just hack weight, and yeah, I'm surprised.
So can't believe it. Twice in this game in the same spot.
And now we're down to the final stone.
Yeah, this absolutely is the final stone of the end coming up for Korea, and an absolute golden and a very unexpected opportunity here for what should be a pretty straightforward shot to at least score, and nose hit and stick, and Korea will score 2.
That's good. Yeah, yes! Hard line! Hard line!
Is this one going to overcurl?
Hard!
와우.
Oh my gosh.
다운이야.
Yeah, down it was. Overcurled. Both skips dropping their takeout weight a little bit with their final stones. Chen and Kim, you got away with it. Remove the stone, you didn't get your pair, but you did score. So after 8 ends of play, it's Korea 5, China 3.
올려야 돼. 장난 아니야. Sorry. 더 올려야 돼. 진짜 미안.
As we slide along with Korean lead,
바뀐데 괜찮은 거.
Min Chan Kim.
라인 타이트하다.
계속 가. 약해.
가 계속 가. 헐.
약하다.
들어가야 된다. 헐. 조금만 더.
Will Team Korea look back on that last shot in the 8th end as they're playing the 10th and
약했나 그냥.
아까보다 좀 더.
really wish that they would have got their pair in that 8th, Sander.
Yeah, it could be. That was definitely a game winner right there. But did the main objective, scored 1 here. Still in control.
Shoulder Day throws the corner guard, taxing his sweepers, but they get it across. Heading towards the end of the competition, and so we'll catch up on the other games going on. Kazakhstan with a 7-3 lead over Hong Kong. Chinese Taipei in a tight game over Qatar, 4-2. And Japan are the winners, undefeated, 9-2 over Australia.
은수야 가야 된다. 타이트하다.
아. 여기 오.
은수야
여기.
들어오마.
Yeah, blind. 여기. 여기. 좀 더. 여기.
미치겠네.
나도 잘 모르겠어. 내가 봤을 때 좀 소프트했던 것 같아.
예, 됐어요.
Yellow stones belong to Team Korea.
往里封一个3。
23之间。OK。
Zodegio.
你看站一会儿搁那球。
How do we get 2? How do we get 3?
23之间。稍微小一点。2区。
下线。二。
来头。二。
Show comes up to join in the sweeping, trying to bring this nearer to the rings.
Go sweeping.
So the 2 corner guards are stacked for Team China.
Yeah, hoping to curl a tad more. Tempt Korea to peel the top one. Leave the best guard in play, but we will try and come after that stone just thrown by the Chinese.
세연아.
Has he got a piece? Oh my goodness.
너무 세게 던졌어, 수야.
Just erring on the wrong side completely there.
좋은데 너무 세게 던졌어. 알지? 네. 오케이. 좀 더 타이트해야 돼. 이 웨이트면.
And I think that's what he's saying there. You know, you're much better off being a little tight on the broom and catching the top guard than doing that.
Wow.
This is a potential 3 in play for China.
Yeah, just also repositioned the top guard as well. He just feathered it and moved it about an inch. So now, shooting Hao. A great chance to get something going for Team China.
I would love to get in behind the closest guard here, which they do.
Yeah, great shot.
세컨만 되면 돼. 네? 다른 건 의미 없어.
6반? 6대 넣어야 되잖아.
저 호구도 모르죠?
So now that extra point in the 8th end is looming even larger. Look at that. Look at that stone finish. Well above the tee line, comfortably behind that guard. Great shot.
약한데 이거.
좋아. 줬어요. 셋. 빨리 와.
Well, this is interesting.
괜찮아요. 다섯이요.
Electing
끝까지
to
기다려. 여기 나란히
ignore the guards. Try to draw into the rings. Trying to freeze that cornerstone and that Chinese rock. Once again, just short.
너무 기다리면 안 돼.
It's a game of inches, and that one was 3/4 of an inch from being perfect. But as it turns out, maybe opening the door for a Chinese pair.
你随便，我看你选哪个。行了。
Su Jinghao.
Whoa.
What did you think about that call in the corner freesander versus trying to deal with the corner guard?
Well,
Nose hit.
you peel the corner, the 2 is probably in play. Maybe the 3, but yeah. Corner freeze. It's playing ball for sure. And
Yeah. Shows big confidence in your team's ability to execute when you're playing a call like that.
두꺼운만 아까 내둘게. 조금만 터치. Good.
I didn't mind it though. I mean,
더. 됐어.
even if you play a really bad end here and give up 3,
넣으면 아프진 않아 얇은 거보다.
you know, blast
자,
stone.
얇고 나가면 스플릿 하니까 남는 게 나아. 조금만 타이트하게 잡아줘 그럼. 오케이. 조금만 더. 오케이.
See Hyung starting to lose his voice.
Whoa. Yep. Yes. Good. 좋아. 오케이. 세연아.
Closes up the house with a slight inside roll. Brings the play a little bit towards the other shots in the house. Korea lies 1. That red stone belonging to China behind the guards. We believe his second shot. Ninth end of play. 10 ends scheduled. So Xia. Well, they really hammered it. Now they're backing off. Big roll. They must stay in the rings. Oh my gosh, have they overcooked it? Yes, they have. It goes out of play. That is a bad error. Skip Show looks on, and that's on him, I'm afraid. Being a little bit greedy, trying to get that wide extra roll, and paid the price, Sander.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
야, 3정도 어때?
아니, 아까 더 괜찮을 때도 2반이었다니까.
2였어. 형, 2 범퍼 제일 좋았어, 아까. 야, 3이 다운이다.
So great opportunity now for Korea to bail themselves out. Saw that missed attempt on the clear earlier in the end by Unsu, and now Sehyun has a chance to pick him up.
야, 끌었다.
Oh, that one looked a little bit soft. The sweepers are pounding it right away. Now they're backing off. Looking pretty good. 1, 2, rolls into the center of the house. Great shot from Team Korea.
딱 괜찮아.
90.
2단. 느낌은 괜찮아.
So now China is all in, looking to come around. Let's take a look at the replay first.
굿샷.
Great shot.
굿샷 해야 돼.
게이트 딱 괜찮아.
90.
Looked to me, Sander, that they're going to ignore the rock on the button and try to draw around that stone in the top 12 foot around the corner.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. It's a lot easier to get in behind the guards for the draw rather than hit and roll. And, but at this point, you have to find some cover. Only 3 stones left for China in the end to generate at least a deuce.
They can afford to go quite deep in the house with this one. It's about the line. The back 12 foot. Maybe hit a corner.
Yeah, Korea will follow.
자, 제 거 몇 나왔어요? 제 거 몇 나왔어요? 얼마 보여?
They're asking
한 30?
how much can they see? That's how much they can see.
아까 나밖에 보이지? 40? 줘 어때? 좋아할래? 이게 나을 것 같아. 난 이건 헤비드로우로 그냥 해도 될 것 같아요.
Do we draw or do we bump? Heavy draw.
하면 걸려도 우리 게 남자 생기다.
1, 2번만 만들어놓으면 될 것 같은데.
That can backfire too.
Yeah,
You got to commit to one shot.
7 몇이었는데? 7, 4인가?
sometimes better to either play the upweight and try and just peel it out,
물어볼까?
or try and play the freeze.
7, 4였어.
The in-between shot is
오케이. 8 나왔대요.
a bit dangerous.
Chengmin's first instinct was absolutely just to draw.
아까 저기 누구 거 얼마냐?
채 거. 아, 은수 거 방금.
8. 내 거.
풀스윙.
제 거요. 8이에요. 라인은 저기가 맞아. 좀 세야 돼, 저 라인은. 무조건.
And now he's thinking, I can see a bit more than I thought. Oh, they're switching.
I just gotta love his facial expressions.
좀 앞쪽에 떨어질 거예요.
Very likable man, Chengmin Kim.
He wears his emotions on a sleeve.
은수 만들자.
나이스 굿.
티!
티!
가야 된다. 좀 만들어야 돼. 다섯.
야, 루시아 가! 루시아 가야 된다, 이거. 가야 된다. 왼쪽 좋아! 어디야?
Don't want a panic sweep. No need to bump,
어디야?
아, 웨이트 괜찮아.
but they do.
아, 이거 잘못 닦았어, 얘들아.
너무.
So slightly overswept. You can see the rueful expression from Chengmin. Said, I had it. You guys just overswept it.
Well, they have lost a couple of draws like that, over curled, so just being all cautious this time.
조금만 덜 닦았으면 됐을 거야.
웨이트 되는 괜찮아.
아니, 그걸 안 되는 이유가 그냥 오는 거였어.
You can see he would have loved it to just stop in front of the Chinese stone, but we can see Chengmin, a little kick in the air on the contact. He didn't really want the bump. They do lie to.
先解个圆心的吧。
Both teams have used their timeouts, but both teams have got plenty of thinking time available, so the time clock shouldn't be a factor.
这面兜线比那边大。
Looking for a little outside roll. Pretty much on the nose. which is something that Changmin Kim would love to duplicate.
Well, I thought they were. The other option was to come after the Yellowstone there and try and tap it to the back 12, flop in, sit two buried, say, okay, you're going to have to play that freeze once more. If you don't, we can score 3.
Yep, I agree.
The hit and roll is a tougher shot.
I agree.
And
여기 무조건 느릴 거야, 맞지?
I find it hard to be able to score 3 with a hit and roll also.
Yeah, you're really counting on your opponent making a bad mistake and jamming to get 3 that way. Regardless, an opportunity now for Changmin Kim to remove the Chinese shooter and lie 2. Nice shot there from Changmin.
Yeah, and no chance of scoring 2 here for China.
진짜 좋은 거 같아.
If they make the double, it will absolutely jam their own stone at the back. There's a smile from Dejia.
속도가 되게 괜찮았어. 약한 거 있다 아니었어. 오히려 좀 센가 이랬어.
73 나왔어요.
그러니까 그럴 것 같아.
我找 double 吧，球又甩飞了。
There's not a lot of error tolerance here for Team China. They're going to have to be full 8 to score. Not sure if right on the nose gets you full 8 or not, so he might need a tiny outside roll to make sure he gets his point. Or quite a big inside roll. The inside roll does bring up the risk of the jam. Here is the last stone on its way. He does get the inside roll, and it is a score of 1 to China. Nice shot there from So Dejia. Keeps his team in it. They're only down by 1. It feels like Korea's had control, but China is still in this one. We go to the 10th end. After 9 ends of play, it is Korea 5 and China 4.
정도로 과감하게 던져 기다리는 거 무조건. 유패스 완전 안 써본 라인은.
Marcia!
38 on the playing clock for Team China as we get underway here in the 10th and what might be the final end. You're enjoying live curling action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. We are in beautiful Erina, Australia. First time the championships have been held in Australia since 1996 when they were held in Sydney. We're in Erina, which is on the central coast, New South Wales, just about an hour north of Sydney.
No deep, 바로 여기. No deep.
Min Chan Kim, Korean
바로
lead.
여기. 바로 여기 세 보여. 바로 여기. 바로 여기.
And the formula here, it's pretty simple, folks.
No deep. 세아나 가까이 있어, 가까이 있어.
China has to steal.
바로 여기.
Korea wants to score. If China can steal their single point, that would tie the game at 5, and we would go to an extra end. If Korea can score, they win the game.
线路稍微有点大，现在可能射，全力吧，小二，全力，闪现，小二。
Well, 2 guards are there, but they are mighty long.
Yeah, and very close together.
여기 라인 되게 어려워. 틱은.
You can see Changman says, I really don't want to come in the rings.
생겼는데. 오케이 오케이. 여기.
Ooh, interesting.
인작 제껴.
아예 많이 찍어야 되는. 저 정도면 될 것 같아. 좀 유패스다 한 번도.
We're still in the free guard zone part of the end, so Min Chen Kim cannot throw a clearing shot at the center guards.
라인 괜찮게 간다.
And he's had such a solid game, this guy.
Sure has.
It's so important, makes it so much easier for your team when you just place these two first rocks in the perfect spot every time. And again, good rock placement.
Great shot. No, you're absolutely right, Sander. The advent of the 4-rock free guard zone, and next year there's been rule changes just approved by the World Curling Federation. It'll go to a 5-rock free guard zone. Just has made the lead position arguably the second highest skill position on the team in terms of importance, next to the skip. If you're not getting it set up at the lead position, you are really scrambling. And now the free guard zone means that the tick shot comes into play. The lead has to play really a wide variety of finesse shots. No timeout available for Team China, so they're just going to come and have a chat.
行，你让你站上他好像。
球流到这块儿，他也不能打你，
这个
打站位。
要不6巨头就行，继续一点。
就这
现在他，你就是你投哪儿，他都得打你站内。
对呀，咱想给他破开。等一会儿你感觉呢？还是先补一个？先补一个。
那你莫不如大点磕，大点磕你磕到后区来，我一会儿还能粘。你磕到这块儿，他白圈被他给挡上了。
你说哪个好点？是先站一个，
磕一个也行，
磕一个，
磕一个也行。
磕一个稍微大点，这8区的那边，
对，
磕到踢线上面。
啊，8、9。
哎，
磕到这个位置啊。
对。
No, talking about coming in now.
8、9。
Talking about bumping the Yellowstone back or just drawing around back 4-foot weight. I'm not sure I love this, Sander. I mean, you've got those 2 long guards. You could throw 1 more guard behind the guards. You know that the Koreans are going to be pounding the center guards on the next shot.
Yeah, you could do that. And later in the end, maybe just play the draw in around everything, around the L's, and sit shot.
Yep. Look at this thing cut. My gosh. That one may have picked something up. That one is going almost sideways.
Yeah, I think you're right, Hans. Maybe just picking up some debris, going off course. We haven't seen that this week.
No, we haven't.
Well, at least I haven't seen it this week. The ice has been very clean. And, of course, the debris usually comes from the players themselves.
Well, let's have a look at the replay. Let's watch the path of the stone. Seems to be traveling pretty well. And then right there, just all of a sudden, just veers. So almost certainly picked something up. Small bit of debris.
Sometimes just a
little flat patch.
That or a bit of rubber from a shoe, a gripper, something. It doesn't take much. A hair, even.
Yeah, so bad break for the Chinese, but it does remain as a guard.
Whoa.
Unsu making it interesting. Pumps it into the rings. Wow. Kind of got away with one there. Nearly blew it by. Which would have been disastrous. So now you've got the opportunity, if you're China, to maybe make a little maneuver. You're going to have to do something with the Korean stones at some point in the end, but the big question is when. What you do know if you're Team China is you have to steal or you're losing the game.
极限就行，极限就行，极限啊，极限就行，
极限够，
极限就行。
到双子，
哦，哇，科，
克林，
哇
，OK。
So decision time now for Changmin. Center guard's the one that's going to kill us. Let's get rid of that one.
Yep. Got it. Good. 잘 던졌어, 은수야. 네.
Much cleaner throw that time from Yun-Soo.
그렇지.
Rips that guard. Now it's a matter of patience for So Jia. Do I put another guard up? Looks like that's the case.
Yeah, I think you might just continue doing that, and then perhaps the final shot here is to draw on the wide out turn in around everything.
Yep.
And then leave Korea with a little slash on one of the yellows. There's enough curl to make that shot, that's for sure. I think it's maybe a bit too late starting to move those yellows up, but we'll see what they think.
This one is going to come rest about halfway. Nice shot.
자, 뭐가 마음에 들어? 노즈는 별로야, 맞지? 예. 예. 일로 할게.
I was going to say, after coming out turn, why would you switch to the in turn? But no, he does now switch back to the out turn.
Yep. 미차 가야 돼, 이거. 미차 가야 돼, 이거!
Oh, they're a bit worried about this one.
하루씨야, 하루씨야. 제발, 제발.
Oh, just sneaks it by.
더 세게 던져.
Yeah, but leaves the shooter in play though, Hans. Another guard.
You're going to see the brushers. They're trying to get that to stay on its line, but just blows it by the shots in the rings. But as Sander points out, it also leaves that yellow guard halfway, and the Chinese will welcome that. There we get a look at them. There are two guards just off to the wings. That red stone belonging to China in the top 12 foot. So good chance now for Zhou Xia to... Well, they're going to make the play on those two stones right now. Oh, that's a nice shot there from Zhou.
Yeah, just with another guard in play, maybe feeling like there's enough cover to come around later on. So taking away those yellows.
Just got it by that stone in the top 12 foot. Great brushing there from Team China. Double take out there for Zhou Xia. Yo, just made it. Had it all the way. Great shot.
노우즈 되면 진짜 곤란해져. 내가 봤을 때 노우즈하고 기다려야 돼, 우리가. 컴라운드 할 때까지 기다려야 돼.
You can see if that Yellowstone wasn't there, the double would be on. To open up everything.
So nervous moments here for Team Korea. They've only got a 1 point lead, and you've got two of your opponent's stones in the rings. Wants to hang around, and he does. And Korea lies one, but China saying, let's go. Let's use that stone in the top 12 as a guard. This is our moment. This is our chance. Get that stone in the 4 foot under cover, and that could be the stone that sends us to an extra end, or maybe even wins them the game if they stole two. There's Chang Min looking on. A few too many guards out there for his liking. So Jia is going to try and draw through that hole between the yellow and the red rocks in the house and into the 4 foot area behind that red stone. Pretty happy with the weight. How's the line? Xiong now sweeping it deep in the 4 foot, but that is a pretty good shot there, Sander. And China is lying one. Decision time now. Smile there, and you can understand why for Zhou Jia.
런에서 안 되면 그냥 움직여라, 알겠지? 런이 마음에 들어 나는.
Do you run it back? Do you try the double? If you don't make that,
민찬아 마음에 들어?
do you draw down and follow that one down?
오케이. 정타 잡고 포지티브하게 던지면 돌 거야, 알겠지?
Looks to me like they're going to try the run back double, Sander.
Yeah, and the only thing you can't do here is
Nose hit.
yeah, dead stuff it. China comes around again, lies 2 in the forfeit. You're drawing against the game. But you have to be pretty unlucky to do that with the weight this guy is going to throw.
Yeah, pretty safe bet that this one will not be light. Deep breath required for Changmin. It's on its way.
Yep. Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Yes! Yeah! Yes!
Oh my gosh! How do you like that? Once again, a sweeping error cost the Koreans. I can't believe it. Changmin says that was made. How did we let it over curl? That is devastating.
And the only good part is he's rolled the shooter far enough, so there's no hole between the yellows to draw around.
Chinese have got a bit of time to make up their mind, but not a lot. They've got 58 seconds of thinking time left on their time clock.
那就是过那个球是下线擦的。
刚才那路线这球能不能过来？你感觉？
差不多。
我放了点点。
还是咱要倒这条线，让他
重现。
我进营。
We see the time clock in the background down to 40.
嘉哥，是这个点吗？
对。
OK。
Yeah, so it looks like they're not going to put another counter in the house.
A bit surprised by that as well.
Yeah, I'd force the issue here, try and lie 2.
It
looks like they're just going to play the guard and try and get the steal of 1.
过站位我就下线。
And put this game into the extra.
完了就可以，你俩擦边，只要力量看差不多，跟刚才。
10 seconds on the time clock now.
快快快！
Once the stone comes in motion, time clock will stop. So he gets it safely away with 4 seconds to spare.
我送了。
就那就行，就那就行。走，跑带，
正上
6，7，
Is he going to draw through the port, Sander? He has. Look at this.
这么大吗？
Wow, great shot.
That is
That is
incredible.
brave, and wow, what a fantastic payoff. What a great draw shot there by Zodejia.
I'm not sure if that was a call though, Hans. They were definitely pointing at the guard. And
I agree.
with the 4 seconds left on the clock, you might think his heart was racing, just threw that a bit heavy. Of course, they changed up the call, if so, and find the hole through. Anyway, just a great result for Team China.
Wow, look at this. Tiniest of ports to squeak through, squeaks through, comes through the button area, just past it. And now, all of a sudden, Team Korea, you are looking at losing the game if you cannot navigate through the hole. Joe can't believe it.
Skinny double through the port, I think, Hans.
Skinny double through the port. He's going to try and hit the stone exactly where the brush is. Squeak through the hole. Try to remove both Chinese shots. Last shot just about on its way for Team Korea. Here we go.
Yep. 가야 돼. 미차 가야 돼. Yes!
계속 가야 돼.
미차.
계속 가야 돼.
Double takeout. Has it moved it far enough? I don't think so. I think it's a steal of 1 for China. The team players are going to take a look at it. So close to perfection, but it is a steal. We're going to an extra end. How do you like that? So close. Changmin can't believe it. He thought he had it made. Got contact on both stones, but not quite enough to push it through. After 10 ends of play, we're going to an extra. We're all tied up at 5.
不推了，这个不用推。
不用推。
Welcome back to the Erina Ice Arena in Erina, Australia. Live action featuring China and Korea, the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. And after a wild and woolly 10th end, we're in an extra end of play. We're all tied up at 5. Man, what drama in that 10th end, Sander Rolvak.
Yeah, I can tell you if that last shot curls 1 millimeter less, the game's over.
Unbelievable action. Saw that Chinese almost running out of time on their time clock. Got their last stone away with 4 seconds to go. We thought it was an attempted guard, but instead it comes between 2 stones in the house. Hides behind cover on the button, and then Changmin Kim tries the double takeout. Almost makes it, moves both rocks, but not quite far enough. Man, oh man. Now both teams have to just draw breath and reset. It's like a new game. They get extra time on their time clocks. They have 5 minutes each to play the end, and Korea 4.5 minutes. And Korea will take last rock advantage into this extra end.
I believe also they get an extra timeout each. So you might see the coaches come out once more.
Yeah. Could happen. You can be assured that both teams will take extra time to make sure they're making the right calls.
Well, you're getting your money's worth this afternoon.
Absolutely. Bonus action here from Erina. The other matches have finished, so all focus now on our feature match, China and Korea.
And it's a much better start for Chinese lead, Cha Dor-di, putting up 2 center guards. Fairly online, but this time a lot more separation.
은수야, 라인 진짜 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 좋아. 라인 진짜 좋아. 여기 와야 돼. 라인 진짜 좋아.
가야 된다.
여기 이거다. 게임 샷이다. 예.
할!
예.
할! 좀만 더! 할!
Well, and the high-quality curling from Korean lead Min Chan Kim continues. Another honey. Great shot.
Yeah, two great ones there. First one maybe a foot too deep, but that second one is put in a nice spot.
Shooting Hao, 78% for the game at the second position for China.
球里有东西，할! 正常，正常的，할! 哇哇哇，力量，哇，旋过去呢。
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Great shot. Drills it on the pin and gets a little corner freeze on that stone of Kim's that has just gone past the tee line.
Yeah, and that's why that first stone from Min Chan Kim was just a foot too deep. Allows for that shot. Did not have a lot of room for error, but just made it perfect peach.
Wow, here we go, folks. Ignoring the guards. We're going into the rings, folks. Here we go.
와도 돼.
Touch of the riverboat gambler in Changmin Kim.
넉넉해야 돼. 와야 돼.
8.
와야 돼.
8.
와야 돼. 어디야?
8.
오.
This one's got lots.
너무 세, 너무 세, 너무 세.
Steaming. Has he got to get any contact at all? Willing it to curl. Has he got a piece? Nudges it. Pushes his own. Rolls to the back 8. And leaves the Chinese stone sitting on the button. Maybe 3 feet extra weight there for Yusun. Great chance here for China. Stack him and rack him.
还行啊，我感觉有点大，我感觉有点大。力线路还行，力量。哇！
Shooting now. Once again, they're looking for this rock to curl as well. Now they're saying, sweep it by. This is going to be way deeper than we want it to be. Nudge the stone at the back of the 8-foot. Wow. Well, pretty sure that wasn't plan A.
Huge mistake.
滑的点感觉有点小。
할 수 있을 것 같아. 타이트함 앞에 걸려도 돼. 근데 웨이트 여기 줄어들어, 여기는. 여기 분명히 느릴 거야. 어?
조금 더 주니까 좀 더 올려 차.
Tell you what, Sandra, I get
치긴 한데 아니니까 더 올려.
anxious watching him chase the shooter like this. It's exciting, but terrifying.
이쪽만 약하다 은수야.
Gets another chance here.
와야 돼. 무조건 느려, 여기는. 무조건 느려, 여기는. 무조건 느려, 할.
Taking some weight off at this time.
할. 할 와야 돼.
Really starting to curl as well.
할 와, 계속. 할 줄어.
Looks like he's going to make contact with that stone in the 8-foot, pushes it back.
오케이, 나쁘진 않아.
That one might be a saver for him later in the end.
같이 던지면 약하다.
Not what plan A was. He wanted to get to the shot rock, but by splitting those two stones, he at least creates some options. But I think if he would have said to Liu Zejia at this point in the end,
더 줘야 돼.
you got a stone on the button, 2 center guards, and a chance to guard or do something, would you take it? He'd be saying, oh yeah.
이 아들이
Team coming down for a chat.
여기 센터 가려놔.
Big decision for them now. Every decision's a big decision now.
他就那啥了，肯定能。
我觉得啥呢？先占一个，或者这儿卡那儿都行。你卡那儿吧，他碰不着这个，你打选万一没漏过来，他啪一打掉，他4分。我就投到这儿都行。
他这俩球都能控制这个，
都行。
他这两边都控制。
要是能擦
这是最好的位置。你要小了的话，
哎，
咱这奔这儿来。
这儿都行吗？
能粘吗
5、6。
哎
，5、6效果最好。
不是扫场地。
Shot rock on the button. Red stone belonging to China. Yellow stones belong to Korea, but we're playing an extra end. All you need is 1. Not how many you score this time, it's just who scores. For the conference.
你可以稍微收一点。
14秒行吗？
So Dejia
14秒，
holding the target for his third. So Chia,
14秒这个点就差不多。
90% for the game.
Yeah, so I think plan A here, come all the way down onto your red stone, maybe try and cross the face of it by an inch or so.
This one's also sliding. It's got a lot of momentum.
Across the face of their own red here. 2 feet heavy.
Yeah, that was, as you say, 1 or 2 feet away from
Nose.
perfect.
The good part though, set up a pocket in the back 4. Not easy to get this going.
Well, Changmin immediately says, I think he could throw bumper weight and get to nose. That's a big assumption. That means he thinks it's going to curl quite a lot past that top red guard. Let's see what we've got here from Se Hyung Seong. 90% for the game and a big shot here. They've overswept a couple of them, and I think they've overswept this one as well. Stuffs it. Not a bad result, but could have done a little bit better, I think.
Leaves the playing rock in a very usable position.
China, though, still with shot, but that stone is absolutely girt by Korean stones.
Yeah, Korea can make a play on that Yellowstone center line. They can slash in the Yellowstone on the right-hand side. They have more options now. So China's going to come around everything and I think play a little hit and roll, slide off one of the yellows, and get another red stone in the forfeit.
11
By the top one. Now they're by that stone in front of the rings, looking for a little inside flop. They've got it. Push their own stone to the back with the button into third shot position. It's quite hard to see who's in third shot, but regardless, Changmin Kim immediately says, well, let's run this one in.
That's a great shot right there. Sits corner frozen. Very hard to remove that red stone with only one attempt.
my gosh.
오케이.
Crashes the front. I can't believe it.
약했어, 세연아.
咱不能动它吧？
有短球，有短球。
有。
闭眼睛，浪费时间，浪费时间。
China calls timeout.
我感觉都呢，他这面是够磕。
啊，看看是不是咱俩近？应该是这个比那一个近。
Korea with last rock.
这个什么脚？
China lies shot, corner frozen.
但是这个他现在一般碰不出去。
好像是。
这个这么一打，这个还兜着
他这面够悬磕。咱磕完咱也。
好像是5号比这个近点。
啊，好像是这个近。
近那么一点。
我感觉这一球咱黄了不能动。
别动哈。
不能动，让他打，咱不能动。咱打不好容易那啥。
现在应该是俩
找，他找不好，咱还有机会。
是不是？
现在唯独就这个球，完了找这底下这个甩进来就得1分，他唯独得1分。
你先挡个线，完他找的呀。
对。I think too.
Say if he's going to use this 5 rock, can you use this?
抓进来啊
They're going to take away the fun. What's he got? Guard?
Guard.
Or?
Yeah.
What else? You like what? You think what?
I think maybe take off.
Stop.
Yeah.
Here.
If you over curl too much, he play this way. This way. Okay. You under curl, he play this way.
反正是打一条线。
I don't think it matters.
OK。
可以先把这中线
咱
给打。
就占我这个
七让他找完了，咱再磕他。
找不着这个，
对，
找这个没有用。
对。
OK。
咱就是小涛站这儿呗。
中线呗，就这儿。
小涛站那儿吧，
稍微往这面一点。
Looks to me like China believes that the danger rock is that yellow stone just in front of the forefoot, and they're talking about how to neutralize it, guard it. Left-hand side of our picture, that yellow stone just to the front of that red forefoot circle. China believes that Korea could run that one in on an angle and maybe pop both stones out. I also wonder, even though it's slightly out of our view, that if Changmin Kim might be able to navigate ports through the middle and make a play at the shot rock on the in-turn, but regardless, you can't guard everything. So it is, yeah. Puts it in play. Oh, sweepers are out to help them. This is really long.
No.
Now he's hoping for a little bump. It's a tiny bump.
嘉哥，你这等我们扫完场地，你再出来呀。
I'm not sure what happened there, but timeout now for Korea. This is fascinating.
바로 승부 보거나 아니면
So
이걸 써가지고.
that slash run-in is still there on the yellow rock, but now Team Korea is looking at the stones on the right-hand side of our picture as we're looking at it.
근데 찰락이 못 될 것 같아. 이거 이렇게 해보면 맞지? 지금 한 살밖에 없어. 내가 이거 승부 봐야 돼. 내가 어차피. 근데 이거 빠지지만 않는다면 충분히 할 수 있을 것 같아. 맞지? 여기 맞아도 되고. 근데 이건 제일 완전
In an
별로야.
extra end.
이렇게 맞는 거. 바로 맞는 건 별로야. 차라리 얇아서 이거부터
Korea
때리는
has
거.
last rock and the yellow stones. China lies shot and second shot.
Three options.
3 options and maybe more.
I think. Yes. 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 Right.
You might have a slash there, but
Or
what about being able to tap it straight back? Can you get the shot?
yeah. The angles.
Can you tap it with a little bit of weight and stay in front?
Yeah.
Create an angle?
Yeah. Okay. Just back.
The other thing is,
Yes.
can you double peel? Is there any value in double peeling the guards?
Yes. Right. Right.
They're right beside each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
Many decisions and options here for Team Korea.
Tap. With Normal, like normal.
I don't know. I can't see that angle very well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but you've got you might not be able to get shot rock that way either, right?
Yeah.
So, if you double peel,
Yeah.
is there something there for you? Probably not either, right?
Yeah.
I think you got to try to make it come in. I think you got to try to come in and bump and create an angle up here
Yeah.
like this for your second shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 들어갈 수 있을까?
Talked about options, playing angles
Well, I
in,
got
playing
none.
short bumps.
아니면 이것도 괜찮을 것 같아요.
Coach Ursel talked about double clearing the front.
Where you're leaving your shooter so you have access
Yes.
to both those rocks.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Timeout is over, so the coach has to leave
Okay.
the field.
가보자.
Looked to me like they were settling on the tap of that stone in the front forefoot, just promoting it forward.
Yeah, I like this.
웨이트만 좀 있으면 맞지? 할 수 있을 것 같아. Normal.
The problem, Rock, here is that Yellowstone in the back of the forefoot because it's hindering that red shot stone going anywhere. So you're making a play on this yellow. That back yellow goes, frees up the red stone. It'll still be shot, but it'll be it'll be a lot easier to move on the next one. And so it's a bit of a setup shot here. They'll have tons of yellows in around the red shot stone, and they should have at least a chance of getting rid of it with their last one.
So contact point is on the left-hand stone, Sander, about a third, or is he getting straight to the shot rock?
I think he's making a play on the Yellowstone center line.
Center line,
A little
okay.
bit, probably a little bit high to try leave the yellows lined up against the shot stone.
Whoa! Whoa! Up! Curl!
Needs to curl.
Curl! Okay.
That's not a bad shot.
Leaves his stone sitting directly in front of the Chinese shot rock now. Only
좋아 보여.
only question will be, can you get to it on your next one?
Well, as long as you can get to the red guard and run that back, that's a shot for the win.
Now we're in the situation for Sodejia where you literally can't guard everything. So it's very difficult to guard both shots. There's a short tap on the outturn side. Short run back on the in-turn side. 44 seconds of playing time left. No timeout. Marcel Rux can decide quickly, guys.
嘉哥，37秒，快！
His teammates reminding him, okay, take your time, but not too much time.
OK，
Want to give yourself enough time to not rush your pre-shot routine, but comfortably under the wire.
I didn't pick up what the call was here, but I'm expecting a guard, perhaps some type of front stone to take away that tap. And
三区有点大，大一边。
yeah, definitely the guard, but this one coming up heavy, just like in the 10th end.
Will he make the shot for Korea? Not quite.
Over curls.
Okay.
So now it's a choice.
Well, right now I think just play the slash double, I think.
근데 이건 더블이 만들어져야 돼.
확실히 얇아요.
확실히 얇아야 돼.
약간 두껍게 맞으면
충분히
될 것 같은데.
이거 하자. 얼음 어떨 것 같아, 세연아?
나 이거 뻗을 것 같아.
어?
뻗을 것 같아.
여기 어때?
난 좋아. 아예 얇거나 두꺼워도 무조건
방금처럼 바로 붙을까요? 라인을
Guys saying, yep, don't overthink it.
방금처럼 붙을게요.
Hit half on the outside, we win the game.
Yeah, I mean, you could play the soft air and play the tap, but I think, throw the high hard one, no ice reading,
무조건 얇아야
minimal
돼,
sweeping.
맞아.
Just catch a piece of it. And it should spring off the shot stone onto the second shot.
Great look at the angle there. Wants to hit just about half on the outside.
Yeah.
What a game, folks. Glad you've enjoyed it. This has been a ripper. Has he got the angle? No, it blows by, and China has stolen won the match. Unbelievable. Over curls, doesn't get it thin enough to drive the angle properly, and China with an improbable comeback victory. Huge disappointment for Chanmin Kim, but wow, what a tenacious comeback for Team China, and what a fantastic game of curling on Monday afternoon here in Erina. Extra end steal for the win for Team China. Let's look at the replay. Looking to hit about 1/3 of the rock. It's just over curling. Punches it through the hole and past the target rock, and it's victory for China. Unbelievable finish here in Erina. Huge disappointment for Korea. Wow. What a game, Sander Wolvag.
Yeah, Korea definitely had this one in their pockets, and 2 chances to pick up the win, first and 10, and then in the extra. I think Chanmin Kim will be kicking himself for a while here. But 6-5 China, hey.
Oh, unbelievable. We talked earlier about would Korea look back on that opportunity for the deuce that they had in number 8 to get their pair when they rolled out, and would they regret that at the end of the match? And that's exactly what's happened. China stealing the 10th, stealing the extra end to win the game. An unbelievable finish. Terrific, terrific game here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2017. Highlights from our feature match between China and Korea in the 5th end. After a couple of misses, a great opportunity now for Chanmin Kim of Korea.
Good.
Perfect shot, rolls it into the 8-foot, and Korea scores 3 points to go out to a 4-1 lead.
接近3秒。
The 7th open hit here for China's So Jia. Right on the nose, sticks around, and China hanging in this one, bringing it to 4-3. In the 10th end. So Jia with 4 seconds left on the time clock, threading the needle, coming into the back of the button to lie 2. China has to steal the 10th to force an extra. So it's the final shot coming up for Korea's Chanmin Kim, trying a double takeout. Hits them both, but doesn't spring it far enough, and China steals it. We're going to an extra end. And in the extra end, look at all those rocks in play. A final shot coming for Chanmin Kim. He needs to hit about a 1/3 to make a double takeout, but he sneaks it by, and China steals the victory. China with a huge comeback win. China 6 and Korea 5. After that fantastic contest, let's have a word with the winning team.
Well, that was a very exciting game to watch. Can you explain how it feels playing those last couple of events?
这是个非常精彩的比赛，然后大家看的都非常兴奋。你能描述一下这个到太平洋以来这些比赛，这一场比赛？
这场比赛能赢下来，主要是全队的力量。每个球我们都没有放弃，即使力量小了，擦冰者没有一丝放弃，努力的去擦冰，完成每一个球。
I'm really happy for this game, and this is not an easy game for us, but this is a win from the whole team. This is teamwork, and we don't give up on each shot. Even the weight is light, and the sweepers have done a great job.
An important win. What do you think about your chances now to win the championship?
这场比赛呢非常重要，就是你觉得你能赢一下 PACC 的几率能多大？
这个我也不太清楚，但是我们只是努力做好我们自己，打好每一个球。至于结果，我想会好的。
We don't want to think about the results. We just want to focus on each game and in each shot. And as long as we have done right on every detail, and I think that we will get what we want.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, catching our breath after a fantastic extra win and win victory for the Chinese. It's so exciting, I can hardly get the words out of my mouth. On behalf of our whole crew, Sander Rolvag, our whole team here in Erina, thank you for joining us. See you later from Erina, Australia.
끝났어.
Okay.